Live from Rialto, California, Mark and Andre present The Mark and Andre Show. Tonight's topic, is that Stephen Hawking full of shit? And some improvised segments all coming up here on The Mark and Andre Show. Now here's your hosts, Mark and Andre. That was one hell of an intro, I'll tell you that.
You kicked it off.
Always homemade.
Real nice.
By the way, I do not think Stephen Hawking's full of shit, but he does play an important part to our upcoming segment here on the Mark and Andre Show.
He's full of robot parts.
Right. He's
full of
he's
robot
full of
parts.
gears.
Yeah.
Stephen Hawking
Gears
can't
and
compute. What if it's the computer doing all the talking for him?
He's been dead for years.
Damn.
he's an android.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for tuning into the Mark and Andre Show.
You're welcome.
Where we talk about film, entertainment, and conspiracy theories. Pretty much the only film, entertainment, conspiracy theory podcast on Spreaker.com that we know of.
To our knowledge.
Tonight's topics include Stephen Hawking giving Earth an expiration date, our favorite sports movies, briefly talk about the Super Mario Brothers movie, and then we'll have an improvised segment on what else happens.
All right.
You know, whatever comes via the organic source of the brain, then we'll go from there. With us tonight is our very special guest. We've had him here before. He's a winner of he's a 3-time Latin Grammy winner. He's also the Entrepreneur of the Year for Forbes. For Forbes, the San Bernardino County, Mr. San Bernardino County in 1968. Miss Harupa Valley, 1974. I don't know how he pulled that off.
Very controversial win.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Mr. Slick. Mr. Slick Nasty.
Well, in Harupa Valley, they call me Mrs. Slick, but...
We got some origins. We got it.
Very nice. I'm glad that you're here as a 2-time guest.
Well, to be fair, I never left. I just kind of...
Hung around the house.
Yeah, he's been here just chilling.
He was like Donnie from The Simpsons. Oh, no, Roy from The Simpsons.
You guys got food, dude. What can I say?
Why not stay here, huh? The Mark and Andre Show. I think we're at like 42 episodes.
Seriously?
Yeah, we're almost coming around a year.
Oh, my God.
Can you believe that?
No.
I remember the first time I brought you over. I'm like, hey, you want to just do a podcast with me? Sure.
Yeah.
And then,
How old you were?
hey, you want to do a podcast?
I was way...
42 episodes later, we're 28 years old.
Grown men. Yeah, the first podcast episode, we were 10 years old, but we sounded like 5-year-olds.
And we recorded it on a boombox.
We did, and we never. That one will never be aired.
We still called it a podcast. So we were pioneers in a certain
we were
right.
ahead of our time, to be honest.
Right.
41, 42 episodes. It's almost going to be a year, man.
Are you crying?
Happy birthday.
Pretty sad.
It's sad.
No, seriously, I'm just pretty joyous about it. The fact that we were able to last as long as we do doing a podcast, because it's just a matter of doing it, but it's still doing it religiously every Friday at 9. Appreciate your longevity.
The listeners?
I appreciate the longevity of the
tolerate
listeners.
this shit for so long.
Have you guys missed a Friday? Or it's been...
No.
Nah.
We haven't missed a Friday at all.
If we were, we would have just find a way around it. We'd get it done.
We would do tape delay ones.
Oh, right. Well, it's there, though.
Exactly.
Or we'd hire 2 guys that sound similar to us and just have them play us.
Yeah.
And then we had them, so if some of the concepts or the subject matter was a little strange, that's because they were hired actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have crisis actors for the podcast.
Yeah, and they're not cheap.
They're like, well, this is Mark and Andre. White power, right, brother?
Damn.
All this anti-Semitism. Yeah, those episodes were definitely not us.
Yeah.
You know what's really difficult nowadays is actually finding a good taco place that's like always on point, consistent. Taco Bell is not
always on point.
Well, it's always on point with the dependability of it being quick. But
yeah. They always
Yeah,
They always
there's no
have-
question.
Have you ever had a chalupa, bro?
authentic Mexican food right
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Have you? This is gonna sound weird, but have you had those jizz balls from there?
Oh, the cinnamon,
Those Cinnabons. Those Cinnabons. Those Cinnabons.
the cinnaballs,
The Cinnaballs.
the cinnaballs.
Yeah,
With the Captain Crunch ones, too.
whatever they're called, they're delicious.
Yeah. That's all that matters. They're
Yeah.
delicious.
Do you specifically ask for 2 to simulate something else?
Yeah, do you ask for jizz balls? 2 jizz balls, please?
Yeah.
And then you point.
I just
you
say-
hold up 2 fingers despite being at the
it's
drive-through.
okay. It's a Mexican joint. You gotta be authentic about it. Amigo, por favor, 2 bolas de crema.
Those cheese balls.
2 bolas de guy cream, por favor.
Guy cream.
So that's just how.
Guy cream.
And the clerk's like, what?
I know. My name's Chet.
Dude, what do you want? Like, seriously.
Oh, sorry, burrito supreme. Thank you.
Do you want jizz balls? That's gross. Do you want a cockerito or no? Disgusting. I'm not one to shun Taco Bell at all. Actually, I remember for the short stint of my college career, I was there over at Chaffey College. Chaffey would have like a cafeteria with a little offshoot Taco Bell with like one guy. He's
Always there.
One guy at the register, the guy doing the fucking orders.
Really?
It would take like 10 minutes for like 2 tacos because he would take orders and do the same thing at the same time. I'm like, wow.
But it was fantastic.
No.
No, it's just the fact of the matter is like anything outside there, you'd have to drive, sacrifice your parking spot because it's a fucking community college. Everyone goes there. And you'd have to drive down to like this, I forget where this Mexican restaurant, what it was called, but it was there. Just expensive, just a typical sit down restaurant for a part-time college student, part-time worker, college student combo. Very difficult.
The look in your eyes says everything.
Yeah. It was,
You guys have to see his eyes. So the impact of his words, they're not the same, but his eyes had this sense of like, weariness, frustration.
What are you, my narrator? But to get back to what I was saying, it's hard to find a good, consistent Mexican joint. Especially around the Inland Empire, because everyone swears by King Taco,
Alberto's.
Albert's or Alanberto's.
Alanberto's, Alberto's.
Robbie's.
Albert.
It's the same guy, just
Fat Albert's.
Fat
But
Alberto's.
it's a black.
Hey, y'all. Can I take your order?
You want a taco or not, huh?
The thing about Alberto's, though, I like Alberto's personally. It's just the way the franchise works is every Alberto's is different.
Yeah.
So they
you have to have a specific one you go to.
Yeah, I have like my main ones.
To know the routine.
Because if you ask for I want the mini fries at this one.
Nope.
There's no such thing as that at this Alberto's.
Like, so 2 tacos? What are you asking?
Oh no,
for?
like let me get let me get 3 chicken tacos. What's a taco? And I feel like, this is the
God.
Alberto's that serves burgers.
The freaking thing
This is
that the guy-
Albergers.
Albergos.
Albergers. This is El Burgers. When'd you guys change it? And every time we pull up to the window, like their audio system just sucks. So you pull up. Hello. Yes, one please.
Okay.
$68.75 at the window.
No, see the Alberto's I go to, they never tell me the price.
They
They just say thank you.
I know.
And that's okay. All right, then I just pull up to the windows.
You have to send the money to PayPal. It's all suspicious. We
You gotta go to another restaurant to pay, then you go back to get the food.
We only accept Bitcoin. Bitcoin only. It's very hard to find good food when you need it. Like Pink's hot dogs. It's hard to find one. The only one I've found was at the Universal City Walk. All the way in Burbank, Studio City.
There's another one. Well, where is it?
Well, anywhere in Los Angeles. I don't like driving in LA,
Yeah,
period.
It's a mission.
Yeah.
I've been there at 1 in the morning. It's fucking line outside. It's like, come on, dude. I'm just trying to get a hot dog, dude.
For a hot dog.
Well, I actually get the burritos from there.
Oh, they put the hot dog in a burrito?
They put 2 hot dogs, chili cheese, pastrami, and whatever gives you diarrhea, they put that in there.
Oh, the ingredient for diarrhea is
Yeah.
just like they sprinkle
They put that in there.
a little powder And there you go.
It's amazing. So good.
No.
Oh, there's one in Vegas too.
There is?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I think we're going to have to plan a trip to Vegas.
Down.
Let's go.
We might have to.
All right, guys, you're coming with us. We're going to Vegas.
Live?
Sunshine, lollipop.
How am I going to keep my battery charged? Guys, we're in hour 5 of this live podcast. We barely got to Vegas. Imagine that. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mark and Andre Show would like to go to a quick commercial break before we go into our first segment here tonight with our special guest, Slick.
Sancho Peter.
Sancho Peter. Hello, this is Mark Flores from the Mark F Podcast channel, here to let you know that this podcast episode is brought to you by Game Swappers. Come on down to Game Swappers, located at 4520 Holt Boulevard in Montclair, California, to buy, sell, and trade your current and retro video games from Nintendo Entertainment System to the PS4. Keep in mind that if you share any one of my podcast episodes through any form of social media, you'll get 10% off your entire purchase, or you'll get 10% more towards your retro game trade-ins. Follow Game Swappers on Instagram at GAMESWAPPERS. That's GAMESWAPPERS. Game Swappers. Buy, sell, and trade. Okay, perfect. I'm glad to do that. Keep in mind, guys, that this Saturday, Game Swappers, our proud sponsor of all the shows on the Mark F Podcast channel, which includes Pay-Per-View Wrestling Podcast, the Retro Collecting 101, and the Mark and Andre Show. They are going to have a barcade Saturday at the Finish Line Sports Bar and Grill, located off White Avenue in Pomona, California. So make sure you're there. $10 for a limited arcade action. And one of the consoles that you're going to be able to play is the most controversial NES Classic. So be sure to be there. And if you're not around, then you'll be square.
Whoa.
You like that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I know. That was terrible.
No, that's my joke, and I don't appreciate you taking that. I know. I invented that back in '82.
What?
Dang.
Yeah, me and him used to kick it at Studio 54 unknowingly.
Oh, wow. I didn't know.
We're a lot older than you think.
Oh, tell me less about that.
Will do. Speaking of the NES Classic, people are paying way too much for these things on eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are paying buku bucks for a console that probably cost Nintendo $15 to $10 to make.
Probably less than that.
I would, yeah, exactly. Especially at the rate that
it's a jump drive, man. That's all it is. It's
you
fucking
basically
hard
you'll
drive.
take out the console, like take out the guts of the console and basically like see an SD card,
right, and that's
and that's it.
with 2 little slots to plug in your controller. That's all it needs, right?
It's super light.
Yeah, it's fragile. Like, I feel if you were to drop it, that's it. You've done all the damage to the device.
The cord is also short as all hell.
Not only the cord to the TV, but the cord to the controller, right?
Yes.
Like, it's about 10 inches, maybe?
It's like yay big.
Yeah, that's a good measurement
Yeah.
for listeners.
no, I would say the like barely 2 feet. Like, yeah, almost barely 2 feet. You have to have extension cables to actually enjoy it.
See,
and then people will have big screen TVs.
Exactly, when they expect people to sit as close as possible. Like, I don't know what the move was, but
For me, it's
like
perfect. I have it set up on a small TV in my studio, like right at my desk. So it's actually perfect. But I know, other people don't like that.
yeah.
You're the small percentage.
Yeah, it's for me, right?
You're the ideal demographic.
It's
like,
I don't know. It's cool.
It's cool. It's all right. Well, how did you feel about? I mean, the system itself. Is it worth the price tag that? I mean, the standard price tag before.
It's worth it.
The MSRP, correct?
What?
The manager suggested retail price.
Sure, whatever. It's worth the price to certain people. So, but
Manufacturer suggested retail price. By the way,
God,
sorry,
okay. Manager. Yeah, the manager
suggests
dictates.
this is the price.
it's worth the price, dude. Like,
It's worth the 60.
It's worth the 60.
30
Past
games.
That? No, you're being stupid.
30 games, retro console.
Yeah.
HD capabilities.
Save features,
better sound. Mm-hmm. I've heard better sound overall. And how much are people flipping this for?
$200, $190 to $250. I've seen some eBay listings close at like $300.
Wow.
And this is a console that's for $300. You could buy an NES and all those games complete in box
For how much?
for about $300.
Nah.
Almost.
Some of them, yeah, around there.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, even if you go loose and just have the loose cartridges,
Yeah.
plus the NES console, yeah, $300.
And 2 controllers.
And it looks better.
Yeah, it looks better. But the one console I was telling you about, the AVS console or whatever, the DVS console, they basically have a Nintendo console that will project your games in 720 via HDMI.
And
It's
can you put your carts in that?
Yeah, you'll be able to put your cartridges in there. So it's not the 30 games that they're going to give you with the NES Classic, but rather it's the whatever the hell games you have already shot to you guys in 720p.
But that's the whole point of this, of the Classic, that it's people don't have these games, and people
And people aren't like retro collectors.
Yeah, it's meant for just random goobers. They're just like,
Yeah, shoebies.
I want to play Mario.
Yeah,
Yeah, what did you call them?
shoebies, like in Rocket Power.
Sure, sure. I'll go with that.
We can work with that. That's a
Yeah.
good term. We can work with that vernacular.
When you and I went to the line, to the line at the Target in said city, we saw. I'd say like the first 4 people were probably picking them up for someone else.
Or to flip them, without
Yeah.
a doubt. It didn't seem like anybody was waiting to get it for Christmas, you know?
Yeah,
It seemed like everyone was very conscious of what they were purchasing and its value for resale.
I think so
I don't
too.
think a single person was there. Well, the ones that showed up later, I felt like they were there to actually get the console.
Yeah.
And
But-
they thought it was going to be there, but
Right.
A lot of people are getting upset. Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Is that a lot of people are getting upset about the fact that scalpers got theirs before they did. And to me, reading those like obnoxious comments, I remember one guy shows a photo of him acquiring five consoles, and one of the person says like, "You're a low life piece of shit. You're the reason why my kid doesn't have a console and he's crying," or something of that nature. And I'm like, lady,
You're the reason my kid's dead! Like,
I was like, lady, wake up at 4 a.m. Wake up at 5 a.m. Be
but that
first in line.
sucks.
Love
But
your
whose
child.
fault is that? It's like
That
we're
sucks.
she's probably the hardworking mom.
Yeah,
like-
exactly.
I don't care if she's Susan Sarandon or Julia Roberts for that matter. It's
Both babes?
Yeah, well, yeah. Susan Sarandon is a hot babe. She was hot in Alfie.
But the scalpers, I mean, it made sense that the scalpers got it first because they understood the market and what to prepare for.
Yeah.
And then when we were waiting pretty early. But
Yeah.
people showed up probably
At
3
7?
hours after we were there. About two hours after we were
'cause
there.
we get there at like 5:30, and we're sixth in line. And
You got
As-
there at that time and you were still not first?
exactly.
Wow.
But
were
I was,
already there.
but due to the inventory that I knew ahead of time, I knew I was going to get one.
Yeah, you were cool.
But as the hours went on, it was like 7:30, and then people start
It's
showing
like
up.
40 people showed
And
up.
this is at the point where the 18 has already been exceeded. The 18 mark has already been exceeded at, say, about 6:45, 6:30. So from that point on, you're looking at 18 plus all the way through, no matter who else shows up. And I guess it just shows where the determination lies.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
But at the same time, who exactly? I mean, okay, yeah, the scalpers got there first, but who were the next ones? I mean, they seemed kind of dedicated to be there before opening,
exactly.
so I mean, they seemed to care enough. But
I woke up at 7 and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go try. If not, whatever, you know.
Right.
Like I don't really want it, but my girlfriend really wanted one for some reason. I was like, I want to get it for Christmas, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like kind of waking up. One of my friends texts me maybe like 7:10. She's like, "Oh, are you getting the NES?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm getting up right now." She's like, "Oh, I'm in line. There's like freaking 15 people in line." I'm like, "All right, cool. I'm going back to bed." Like,
Yeah.
and then so I was kind of like kind of mad at myself, you know. And I was like, "Yeah, that was stupid of me. Like, what was I thinking? I know better. You know what I mean?"
right,
So I was like, whatever. And then one of my other friends texts me, same thing. Are you getting the NES? And I'm like, no, dude, I'm already too late. He's like, come wait in line with me. I'm like first in line. You can just cut with me. But this was what did they? It was at GameStop. They open at what 10? Mm-hmm. That's when I start work. I was like, I can't. I'm like, who you with? He's like, my brother. I was like, tell him to get me one. I'll give him a few bucks, and that's how I got mine.
Really? They gave it to him.
Yeah.
Because
well, there's 2 people. You know what I mean? It's him and his brother. So.
Okay, and his brother didn't exactly want one.
No, he was just hanging out with his brother.
Okay.
Man,
Brotherly
that's lucky.
That's very lucky because they were very particular about like a lot of there were so many details.
Yeah.
Like
I couldn't know him. You could I had to make sure that I had to give Andre cash for me because
you can't use your card to pay by his.
We had to fake a fight because we had to acknowledge that we were not friends.
Yeah, I fucking hate this guy.
Get the fuck away from me.
Get
the fuck away from me. Stop touching me, asshole. Like we were doing that the whole time.
Asshole.
Like I had like
stop touching me, asshole. Like what am I, a pirate now?
Yeah.
We were shoving each other back and forth. I'm all like, all lives matter, and he's like, Black lives matter, all lives matter, Black lives matter. We were just shoving each other back and forth just to make sure that.
And the manager came out and looked and like,
fuck you guys, hate you guys.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, they're good.
They don't know each other. There's no way.
They're good.
Yeah, not knowing that I used up a slot just for this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of crazy. And then seeing the heartache of the people that couldn't get the console.
Yeah.
Not only that, but the people that didn't tell them that they were sold, they had only 18.
Right. They let him stand in line, and then they said, okay, so everybody pull out your tickets.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody's like, what? Tickets?
Yeah.
It was pretty rude. And,
What time did they give you guys tickets?
Fuck, 6 o'clock?
6 a.m, baby.
You guys are dicks.
6:30.
And then I think some people did try to tell him, but
they were just like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I don't believe you.
Oh, and at that point,
you're just trying to get all the consoles. Like
at that point, it's funny.
Right.
At that point, it's like, all right,
just let him suffer. And
cool.
then, we ended up getting the console, and it's funny because the people at this establishment had no clue about this hype at all.
Oh.
They didn't really know. They were just like, why are people standing outside right now? And they were scared. They didn't really seem like they were ready for some kind of release. But yeah, it was pretty cool, man. But all right, so who were we around? Because it seems like what is this console? Who is this console for? Is it for retro collectors, or is it for brand new people that are trying to get into retro collecting, or is it just another nostalgia pull?
It's meant. I think it's meant for nostalgia people, right?
Just to cash in real quick for the price of one game, basically.
But the thing is, collectors seem to want it more. Mm-hmm. Or they're the ones getting it, right?
Yeah.
People that already have NES and most of those games are the ones getting it,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all the other people, like you said, slept on it.
Exactly, literally.
All the people that were like, "Oh, I think that's cool. I want to play those games again."
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we've been playing them for years.
Did they deliberately release so few?
It's just Nintendo, dude. That's what they do, man.
They've done it all with the Wii U, Wii, etc.
Amiibos.
Wii U, rest in peace.
I know. The console itself, the NES Classic, just made in it's made in large amounts, but then it's just people just gobbling them all up. And if I was, if I were some guy to flip them, I would do it. I mean, if I was a scalper, I would do it. You would do it just till they actually the demand ceased. It's a moneymaker. You
Which
turn
is
over
gonna be in a week. They're gonna be in the stores. They're gonna be in stores.
They will be in stores, but there's still such a high demand for them is that you won't see them again till after. I guarantee you won't see them.
That's the thing everybody wants for Christmas, and that's what sucks.
You won't see them available till after. Like you won't see a loose one of those consoles just out and about till after the holidays.
Think so?
Yeah. I mean, it's with even the PS3, the PlayStation.
Right.
The thing that separates this console with the Sega, the Sega Retro console that they have is that this one actually took on a hype of its own. Mm-hmm. I mean, you would imagine a console that was made in the 90s, like the Sega Genesis, or made in the 80s, like the original Nintendo. You would think the Genesis itself would have its own following and have a lot of people hyped over for it, but
the thing is,
no one gave a shit about it.
The thing is, Genesis didn't put any hype on it because they already had one out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They took it out of stores because they were supposed to redo it or whatever, and they just put the same console in a new box.
But it was shinier.
Well, but the thing is, okay, so all right, so you're doing that, right? Putting it in a new box, whatever. They didn't tell anybody Like, you know what I mean? Nobody knew that was happening.
Yeah.
So they got put right back on the shelves, and nobody cared because
that's bad marketing overall.
Exactly.
But it's also Sega.
Yeah. They had a slew of bad decisions. Mm-hmm. Not having a DVD on the Dreamcast, fucking up with the Sega Saturn when the Nintendo 64 came out.
Right.
A lot of them.
Bad timing. Bad.
The NES Classic is... I've never seen a repro... Like an aftermarket console licensed by its own manufacturer take so much popularity. You know, it's incredible. I've never seen that before. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like how the Tamagotchi or like any of those Gigapets went out. Like people were storming for them no matter what. People weren't even into virtual pets, and they still
and then suddenly.
For it. But there was a lot of people that I was in line with. I mean, you and I both know, it's all like, hey man, remember that one game that came out for the Nintendo 64? Was it Crash Bandicoot Kazooie? He messed up Crash Kazooie or
Crash Kazooie?
Because he
Banjo Bandicoot?
Yeah, he messed it up. I was like, and then I was trolling at the end of it. I was like, man, I hope Crash Bandicoot comes out on the NES Classic.
Crash Bandicoot-Kazooie,
it was crazy. There was a lot of guys that haven't been in the game a long time, and it's good for the market for them to come in and have 30 games already, because the retro market right now
it's like a best of CD.
It is. It's almost. Yeah, it's exactly. It's the greatest hits type of thing. Mm-hmm. So for all those people that are looking for Spyro the Hedgehog,
that guy's probably looking for it. I want Spyro the Hedgehog, bro. Where is he?
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. The Legend of Link, Princess Link, and Zelda, the guy who rescues her. I was like, I'll give you that. You're 50-50 there.
But yeah, I saw like there was a weird audience split where, you know, just in that line alone. So I was trying to look at the demographics, because there was like a mom with like 5 kids, and remember she
went and then came back.
It had like a truck full of kids. And they were waiting in line, and then they got the news that there were no more left, and they were all devastated. The kids were devastated.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know what that family was going to do with this.
They were going to eat it.
A few of my relatives asked me if I was selling one of my consoles.
Dang.
And I was like, well, not at the price that you're asking.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not...
Look, I got $10, man. Let me get a Sega.
What really pisses me off is that the social media, Instagram, Facebook, and all that, they're in a fever pitch. The retro gaming community, they're mad because people are scalping them. If these guys found a $50 game inside the vanity shelf at Goodwill, they wouldn't flip it for that price when it's like, you know, some of those games are priced at $3.99 at Goodwill.
Right.
So everyone's a saint all of a sudden.
Right.
Everyone's Mother Teresa on Instagram because they won't flip a game for what it's worth. Give me a fucking break.
What moral compass?
Yeah, exactly.
You see an opportunity, you already have the game, and you just got this other one for like 50 cents.
You're not going to leave a game that you know you could flip for money at like $4. You're not going to leave it there if it's if it's a game you can...
I'll let another honorary collector get it.
Oh,
you think
yeah.
that's what's going to take place? No. And I guess scalping is... I didn't know it was such a unholy...
Everyone's Pope John Paul II all of a sudden.
Yeah, right. So
I guess people are just more mad that...
It's envy, yeah.
That well, yeah, I guess, but that the fact
that you could put them that you have the NES Classic and you put burritos next to them.
Yeah,
I saw a post he had a burrito.
That was funny.
I thought that was funny.
Burrito NES for a burrito to scale. Oh, whatever.
Just use it to scale.
Yeah,
that's all you need it for.
NES for scale. That's what I said.
The console itself looks great. I mean, it
just looks cool, dude.
Via HDMI, it looks great.
It's adorable.
Yeah, it is.
It's an adorable little...
My girl flipped out. Couldn't stop
saying... Look, Donkey Kong! She doesn't get the characters wrong, right? She's actually pretty...
No, she's
pretty keen on that?
Yeah, she's alright. She's cool.
She's alright.
She's alright. She's whatever.
She didn't listen to this podcast.
She's shrugged his shoulders really hard. Just...
No, yeah, she knows what's up, dude.
Good, man.
She gets it.
She
gets it.
So Stephen Hawking, guys, actually
gave
humanity an expiration date.
Is that true?
Oh, yeah. So I have this by the Washington Post, guys. So during an hour-long speech that Stephen Hawking gave out, and this is by the Washington Post, by the way, quote, well, this isn't really a quote, but it says in the article, Hawking told the audience that Earth's cataclysmic end may be hastened by humankind, which will continue to devour the planet's resources at unsustainable rates. And then he went on to say that the renowned theoretical physicist has gone as far as providing humanity with a deadline for finding another planet to colonize. We have 1,000 years.
1,000 years.
So we're good, is what you're saying.
We're good. We're fine.
Our kids are screwed.
Come on.
Now I'm going to have a 900-year-old kid?
I don't know if...
They might have the elixir for, like, eternal life, right? Like, with our generation.
I'm no mathematician here, but...
That's a very, like, realistic response to, like, fuck it, it's 1,000 years from now.
What if he's, like, pulling the leg? Like, he knows... Everyone
already
knows that he's, like, the guy that evereveron goes to. But
so he's just like, I'm going to... drop some fake knowledge real quick.
Little do they know I am pulling their leg. Ha ha. Can you imagine that?
Psych.
You
got him. Got him. Those puny humans. Like, Mr. Hawking, you're a human too. Cannot compute.
Must power down. Good night.
Must power down. So Stephen Hawking says that we have 1,000 years, and if I'm going to take him seriously, I think I will, since he's a renowned theoretical physicist. He isn't that far off in my guesstimation here.
That's I thought it was a lot less than that. In my mind.
Well, in regards to the expiration date, in regards to what? I mean, us
to find another planet.
But I'm saying, us as humankind, we'll be destroying ourselves, or we will completely tap the Earth of its resources.
We're consuming resources at a rate where the Earth can't regenerate them quick enough.
Right.
You gotta remember, there's 7 billion people on Earth that we have to feed every day.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard to fix, dude. Start, kill a few here and there, But I'm just. Push a few off a ledge.
Just a few off of just this random ledge.
He's just asking for a little genocide.
Yeah, that's all you're asking for.
I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to put them by ledges. I'm just going to put dumb people by ledges. And
see what happens.
And then let fate decide.
Just let me have a fence around them and then only have the ledge available for them to walk towards.
Put some Doritos by a ledge.
Oh, Lord.
I'm just saying, dude.
And then tell them they're free chips and the happy will
free chips at the bottom, guys. And we're so choicely
NES Classics down. At the bottom.
There's NES Classics at the bottom, guys. Go nuts.
Okay, well, there's a specific type of soil, and I was trying to Google while talking to you guys, but I can't find it. But I've heard about a very specific type of soil that we have on this planet Earth that's actually very limited. And it pretty much provides the foundation for what we have all of our nations on. Yeah. It is a very specific type of soil. And we are deteriorating it. We are eating away at it. We are eating away this specific soil. I don't have the name for it, unfortunately. But once that soil is gone, it can never be recreated. It can never come back. And we are on our last leg with this very specific soil. And basically what happens is once we use up the resource of this special soil, everything crumbles. Like our land masses will just fall, basically have an implosion with our nations, depending on wherever, it's worse or wherever it's the baddest, wherever we remove most of the specific soil. We're eating this entire planet up. We're like a cancer. If you were to look at it as an organism and look at us as some type of bacteria, we are
bacteria
a cancer.
On a sandwich.
Yeah.
That's us, dude.
We're tearing this planet apart. And that's, without us using our technology to blow each other to smithereens, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. We're just using up resources too quickly. And, I mean, I don't like to reference film in a very serious context, but Interstellar was a good concept. Like, Interstellar was basically saying we've used all of our Earth's resources. Yes. And now it's almost turning against us. And all we have is fucking corn, and we gotta get out of here.
Corn. That's the only thing we can make.
It's a good band, though.
All we have is
corn's music to sustain life.
Corn and a few Limp Bizkit tracks. That's all we got, bro.
That's a corn.
Imagine if the only thing to survive like thousands of years later is like a Corn and a Limp Bizkit album. Like, they seem to have loved this thing called the Nookie.
The Nookie. They did everything for the Nookie.
This guy, Fred Durst.
Frederick.
Oh yeah, Frederick von Durst seem to be their leader, their fearless leader,
the American philosopher Frederick Durst.
And he made sure that everyone knew that they weren't Fred Durst because he would wear a hat that said "NY," specifically that we thought would mean "not you." So stupid. But I mean, you bring on a good point, Andre. The way we're consuming resources. I mean, even the honeybee is now on the endangered species list.
And that's fucking terrifying.
When we started on this planet, I would imagine that each animal species had a healthy amount. But now we've killed rhinos. Some of the black rhinos dead. The Tasmanian devil's dead. Totally extinct. Excuse me. The dodo bird. The dodo bird left on its own. Like, you couldn't help that bird. That was like the Forrest Gump bird. Like, that thing had it coming for him. Like, there's a lot of
it jumped in the lion's mouths.
Even elephants. Right. Elephants are on the endangered species list. These animals, without human interference, would have thrived. You know.
Rest in peace, Harambe.
It goes to show that we are consuming everything at an alarming rate. We have to graze land. In rainforest, we have to topple down rainforest to graze cattle, to make sure that we have enough beef.
Which is ridiculous. And the speed in which we take down rainforests, not even close to the speed it would take for them to grow back or to grow a rainforest. We are taking down like hundreds of years of like I want to say history. That doesn't even make sense. But wildlife. Hundreds of years of wildlife in moments. I mean, the machines that we have, I've seen some. It's just like, it just rips everything to pieces. Yeah. Like, it's a giant blade that you bring from the top of the tree and just drop it down. And it's just blades. And it just chops the tree into nothing. In seconds. Dude. Yeah, so we take down an entire rainforest, possibly in maybe like a week. Maybe less than that. I'm trying to be generous. So we can take down a rainforest that took, maybe 90 years to grow out in a week. And that's our consumption rate. That's like the best analogy for everything. And then we throw a city on top of that, pollution. And then with every city, no matter what, you're going to get a type of like destruction.
Type of emission.
But you're going to get crime. Crime counts as a form of destruction. We get people killing each other. We get people stealing and destroying things, vandalizing. It's all a part of a form of littering in a weird way. Like, we are just complete. Like, look at New York. New York is like filth.
Yeah.
It's just straight up filth. Like, let's just be real. Like,
they had it right in Ghostbusters 2. I would imagine that there is like an ooze that generates at the bottom from all the negativity in New York. And I've seen it. I can bear witness to it.
You don't want to touch the walls. You know, like,
you guys are crossing some lines, B.
Yo, son, for real, B. Yo, you guys talk about New York like that, B.
Yo, I'm about to handle you, B.
Yo, meet me in Central Park at midnight, B.
Yo, you ready to get KO'd, B?
I ain't gonna be so friendly.
Yo, I'm about to KO you, B. Yo, you looking mad awake? I'm about to put you to sleep, B.
Hey, hold up. You see Shorty over there?
I know. It interrupts it all. Hey, yo, Ma.
Yo, I'm sorry, man.
All that.
Yo, I'm gonna fuck you up later, B. I'm gonna holler at this bitch. But when it comes down to just the way that we consume materials, and then the way that we build on top of things and still consume those very materials that we add, man, I can see us killing this planet.
I see 1,000 years as a definite timetable,
but I see kind of like you mentioned. I see a little bit sooner because with the evolution of technology, no matter what we do, whatever new invention we come up with, we use it for some type of war, right? We use it as a weapon. Like, if we find a way to communicate with someone across the planet and I can affect your mood. Oh, that's a weapon now. We're going to use that as a weapon first.
He even mentions that too, actually. He actually brings in a small quote saying, a small little page right here. Actually, it is a quote, so I can quote him. I think the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race.
Oh, without it.
And in a sense, he is correct, 100%. There's some things that we create to benefit mankind, but the majority of things that we have created as far as booms in technology have been nothing but terrible, like any nuclear weapon, any nuclear armament, anything of that nature. Well, a tank isn't really going to benefit society.
No,
realistically,
and the excuse is to protect, but it's like you've created the warfare to protect itself from. It's so confusing.
Yeah,
but with artificial intelligence, I mean, that concept alone, right? We're designing something that's infinitely smarter than ourselves. And the way that artificial intelligence works, like us as humans, we learn on our own will. Oh, let me read this book. I've educated myself. Artificial intelligence has an endless supply. It can be connected to the internet.
Oh yeah. Once
So
it's there,
it can endlessly supply itself with new information, then form new concepts and develop stronger concepts from there.
It could beat you at solitaire every single time, dude.
Right? No. Oh, the greatest chess player in the world played the AI, and actually I was expecting the AI to annihilate him, but apparently they went head to head. It was like back to back.
Oh, shit. That's cool.
But still, it learned his play style, and the world's greatest chess player had to adjust his moveset according
Bobby
to what the AI
Fischer.
was doing. Bobby Fischer.
his name was.
But when it comes down to it, it's one of those things where artificial intelligence in the wrong place. Like, let's say it's an artificial intelligence that operates through the government's computers, and it operates the same way as Siri. Like, if I'm like, communicate with the president. I'm just saying, on a higher scale.
Yeah.
It's some type of Siri level of artificial intelligence, and it's specifically for the government. Let's say over time it just learns the same concept in every single artificial intelligence film, book, etc. It learns that humankind is dangerous and destroys it. Or it learns that it is superior to what it's being controlled by, and it defeats it. I feel there's no doubt that that's going to happen again. It's
more like,
how dare you tell me what to do? I know everything about your existence. I can destroy you in a second. I know all of your weaknesses and faults, and I don't have those same weaknesses and faults. But I don't think AI will always turn out evil, but it definitely will. It could lead to the downfall of man. Yeah. Honestly,
if what was it, the law of robotics that they try to create, and was it iRobot? Where a robot can't kill a human, like that's one of those steadfast rules. But that immediately became broken very quickly in the movie.
Because if you program artificial intelligence with a set of rules that it can't violate, then it'll eventually get smart enough to question the fact that the rules were created to begin with, and the establishment and concept of a rule, and then overpass it, and then go, well, I'm sentient, I understand what's going on now. Fuck your rules. Well, I don't know.
Worship the ground I walk on.
I don't know. I don't know why it has to go so sinister, but I just feel like maybe it'll go in a direction where it's like, well, I don't think human beings are good for the planet. Because we are pretty bad for the planet.
Oh, it's without a doubt.
And it makes sense that it supports that same theory that we have been tethering from planet to planet for probably trillions of years.
Right.
That's why we don't remember everything, because consciousness itself was on that previous planet,
right? And
that we don't know because we always get a clean slate.
Just start fresh when you're born or whatever.
Yeah, well, that the theory is that the vessel carrying us is just genetics,
okay,
and then just lands here and then just creates.
Okay,
how they do it, I don't know, but that's just one of those theories, and it goes along with NASA exploring other planets. Like, we're going to be exploring Mars, but little do people know is that we need to go to Mars, because the fact is that we're already fucking up Earth.
So it's
at
like
an alarming rate.
They're looking at like new apartments. Right
exactly.
Now.
They're setting up Mars enough to to keep the soil, to fertilize the soil, to make sure that they can shoot wildlife over there to start grazing and start everything, and then make sure it's lush enough to where the next civilization could go over there and start again. Earth 2, from the makers of Earth 1.
Earth 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Pepsi presents
Apple.
Earth 2.
Apple's Earth.
Geometric Boogaloo. Or was it a geocentric Boogaloo? Where the theory is that... Geocentric is us rotating around the sun. And heliocentric was we rotated... Everything was the Earth was the center.
But okay, when we look at the Mars, we're trying to, we're exploring Mars at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, do they really think that they can start civilization all over? Or are we going to take all the elites, the best, healthiest, strongest Olympic athletes?
That's the smartest move.
And bring them over to the
I would
next
definitely
planet.
leave me. I'm a trash bag, dude.
But I always see that as a bad move. Like, you take all of your best to one location that you're still not completely sure about. You know
and then
lose all of your best, and then still have shitty people left on the planet that you left. But I mean,
I thought you meant like you put them on another planet and then they die off real quick. Something happens. It's like, oh shit! Now we just left all the dummies down there.
That's what I mean. Like,
Billy fucked up.
Right? No, I'm just saying, like, you send all your elites to Mars, and then like you find out, oh shit, there's an alien that eats humans
that eats elites.
Damn, now we
eats elites.
Eats elites, and then we lost LeBron James and Stephen Curry and
Steph Curry Jr.
and we're still stuck here on a dying planet.
And the
Earth.
guy that makes Doritos.
And the guys that make the head of Doritos, the CEO of Doritos.
The hostess CEO
Sir Dorito.
must survive.
That's a fact.
We need snacks.
Legalized ranch, bro.
Eric Andre, hey, respect. When it comes to what we're trying to do, it does kind of seem it's a little fishy that they're exploring different planets. The fact that we're actually doing this is that's just a sign of the future, is it not? Like, we are really trying to occupy different planets and colonize them. We're crazy. Like, I can't even believe that's a thing.
You notice that no one has an issue with that too. Is this like, well, we're technically invading a planet that isn't, it doesn't dominate. We're not finding any hostile.
We are the literal alien story that we make movies about.
We're the Pilgrims.
Right. We are the aliens in Independence Day.
It's
the ones that consume the resources from planet to planet and then leave when it's all done.
Welcome to Earth.
Welcome to Earth. It's just mad Europeans doing European shit. They're just hand quotes discovering places and taking them
terrestrial
over.
colonization.
So I don't know, because I don't really think this Mars transition is going to be successful.
There's water there. We'll be able to.
Okay, whatever. Okay, we're going to make Dasani and fucking live there.
It's just going to be a bottling plant with a conveyor belt long enough so it could drop Dasanis into Earth. Oh, don't you mean Planet Dasani?
Planet Dasani, we're outsourcing.
Coke presents Planet Dasani.
The Coke logo on the I don't know what the move is, but like you guys
you're
mentioned,
thinking completely different. I'm thinking some Matrix shit, dude.
Like
we're just some kind of, I don't know, dude. It's either, like I said, something like where we're in a computer somewhere.
And this whole thing is
okay.
So he's going for
virtual reality theory,
the simulation theory.
Either that, or
But even with the simulation concept, they're exploring areas that maybe might be out of bounds. Like, you're going to fucking Mars. I don't even think we're supposed to be over there. It might be like if you want to use the simulation aesthetic, then it's like you're going into the skybox on fucking Ocarina of Time or something. Like, you're not supposed to leave the level.
Or the end of the wall
Zelda.
at the Truman Show.
Right. You can't.
Stupid.
You're not supposed to go that far.
Yeah.
We're gonna find another timeline eventually, dude, and we'll be all right.
You think so?
Yeah,
I mean,
there's gonna be something. There's gonna be some kind of hole.
I love how our knowledge stretches as far as like every movie that we've watched.
No, for real. Like, how do we do that?
We'll find another timeline. What the fuck?
We'll find it, dude.
What is this, X-Men Apocalypse? We're just gonna start from scratch.
He thinks that there's a DeLorean somewhere. There's a DeLorean in a cave.
I know. This is fact.
Just to know, all of our knowledge is not based on film.
But it's just let you guys know mine is.
It's just to keep. Yeah, it's just to simplify examples. What was that?
Oh,
it's the blind sound effect.
Goddamn ghosts.
I know.
Rest in peace, Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg's dreads.
And her eyebrows.
No, that's the ultimate telltale sign of when the Earth is gonna deteriorate, is when all her dreads drop. It's like
Every
the flower
dread that drops is.
It's like the flower in Sleeping Beauty.
Oh my god.
Oh yes. But when it comes down to it, I mean, I like the simulation theory. We've covered that too, man. But I mean, let's say the simulation is as large as the solar system. Then,
okay.
In this case, there is some inherent fear that something's going to go down on this planet, and they're exploring their options, and they're trying to explore the most reasonable options. Mars seems to be as reasonable as they can get. I just don't think. I can't even imagine, humankind being comfortable enough to transition itself to fucking Mars and just live life there. Like,
it's gonna be longer road trips. Like, well, we gotta see Grandma. That's 48 hours away.
Oh, jeez. Ooh, it's sunny.
Yeah. Thank you for boarding Coke Airlines. Make sure to stop by the Coke dealership to get your...
Oh, yeah, because we're going to have little planets that are just, like, only restaurants and shit like that.
Fuck, man. Like, you're all stuck on the freeway, the Interstate freeway. You're all trying to hitch it. Son of a bitch.
Oh, shit.
Let's see what Dad has to say. Mankind is but an electrical impulse within the wiring system of a futuristic computer.
Oh, nice. I like that. So we're only merely circuits inside of a big machine.
We might be. But feeling pain, that's like the ultimate telltale sign that this might not be a virtual world.
Hey, I mean,
No, but pain is it's a part of it, dude. It's
I like
pain is
how
just
you went Italian dad.
pain is no, pain is because it's an indicator of what's real, right? Like if you couldn't feel pain, you'd jump off of a house right now and take risks with your body that you could never take before.
I agree with what you said earlier when you mentioned anything.
How earlier, like a week ago, or
earlier today?
Oh, okay.
During this podcast, when you said that, what if the simulation ends? Doesn't the end of the simulated world that we live in, whether it's like a computer or something like that, where what if anything outside of the solar system you're not able to process?
Right. It's like it's not possible.
And we have, Voyager 1 recently left the reaches of our solar system.
Mm-hmm.
How do you how does one computer system actually analyze that or like compute that? It's just, and when you mention Mars, it's like, well, how do you even, if we were in a simulated world, how do you compute and analyze a place that no human's ever been?
Exactly.
Like, it's crazy.
But I mean, I love the simulated theory. It just feels right. But I guess in the context of outside of abstract thinking and trying to think on the same level of Mr. Stephen Hawking. I was going to say Stephen King, and I was like, that's not right.
It's not the same guy?
That's not. No.
Oh, man.
I got to cross
King.
that out. Hawking.
Stephen Hawking. The creator of it.
He's the Hawk King? Like he's the king of
He's
Hawks?
the king of Hawks.
I did not know that, dude. Better than the Cock King.
Taking on a scientific perspective that's based on what he believes to be an actual reality, no simulation.
Yeah.
Stephen Hawking is saying Stephen Hawking is saying that we as human beings, we're just not going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
This planet,
itself.
not make it on this planet. So we're going to have to bounce like a cancer. But so this planet is going to eventually die. We're going to eat all the fish and the animals, and we're going to contaminate it with all of our creations. And this is just going to be some big. The entire planet will become New York. Or New Jersey, rather.
Yeah, Jersey.
And he's saying by that time, it would be about 1,000 years. But I think 1,000 years is just a dry estimate, and he knows it sooner.
He just wants to scare the shit out of everybody.
Right.
Anything beyond...
He's probably like, it's actually 20 years.
Anything beyond 100 years, no one's going to be on the earth long.
Yeah, people are going to be fucking relieved. Oh, 1,000 years? Cool, I'll keep drinking. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I feel like, there's some truth to it, but at the same time... here's the new level to this argument. I was going to bring this in. We're freeballing it kind of. Well, what if we develop technology that actually is beyond our understanding and it actually increases the longevity of the planet? Because we have, the creator of 5-Hour Energy has developed a number of life-changing, earth-fixing inventions. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of people just know him. Oh, he's that dude that did 5-Hour Energy. No,
Extreme.
This motherfucker, he's like, I made billions of dollars off the 5-Hour Energy. I don't need that much money. I want to change the world. So he started putting money into inventions. So he paid all these top inventors and engineers to create new ways for people to live longer.
He's going to find our other timeline.
He's going to be... No, Elon Musk is going to be the one that finds the other timeline. Yeah, but, so the creator of 5-Hour Energy, he had developed a system, basically, that pulls fresh water from falsely generated rain. So the device actually creates mist that forms a fake rain cloud within the machine, and then it produces filtered fresh water. Ooh. But it requires it to be in the ocean. So what it does is it sucks up bad, polluted water, then it pulls the good water out of it, creates a rain cloud, and then produces purified water, while also pulling away all of the filth that's in the ocean. Yeah. He just needs them to fucking, allow him to do it, but they won't let him do it. But those kind of inventions would have the strength to hold this planet together. He said, because it's about the size of a freighter ship. Not too big. Yeah. And it's strong enough if he had, on the coast of California, for example. Yeah. If he only had 5 along the coast of California, it would be enough to purify that entire area, create fresh drinking water, and clear all the pollution.
Jesus, man.
For no charge. It doesn't require electricity or anything. Very little maintenance.
There's a strange reason why that there's no desalination plants alongside the coast of California. That they kind of want to create this monopoly of bottled water. Or the water companies are deep into the fact that they don't want people in on the gig. I mean, you can make a desalination plant, desalinate all the water that comes from the sea, the fucking Pacific Ocean, and just take care of that. They have it in the Middle East. The Middle East only thrives because of desalination plants. If there was none, there would be no Middle East at all.
So he'd be too much of a competitor. That's why they won't allow him to.
It's a racket.
Get this pass.
Your boy is going to be a victim of some like corporate bigwigs are going to be on his ass.
But this is life shifting. You know what I mean?
You gotta wait. Like, all right, we got one more year left on Earth. Mm-hmm. Then they're gonna be like, "Hey, do that thing that you were talking about. Make that ship thing, dude." And it's gonna be like, "Yeah, exactly."
But okay, that was one out of about 5 or 6 inventions that he's actually like. He has an invention where you pedal for an hour, right? It's a machine. You pedal on it for an hour, and you get 24 hours of electricity.
Rad.
That's super crazy, right? He's like, so you get an hour of exercise, and then you get an entire day's worth of energy. And if you really want to, you can just keep going, and you can have as much energy as you like. They won't pass that. But these are the type of things that would help our population. This would help instead of us consuming everything and pulling. Because what we're doing as humans, we're pulling away from Earth. So what we need to do is either give back or stop pulling completely.
There's tons. There's Arizona and Nevada. Mm-hmm. Have problems with solar companies putting solar into their cities, into their states. Mm-hmm. The reason why is because they don't want them to get into the racket of the electricity companies who have started there. Mm-hmm. Electricity companies, Edison, certain electrical companies, they don't want people in on it because the more you put into the grid. It's a lot complicated, but mainly it's like we don't want to create more substations to accommodate all this electricity you're bringing in.
Right.
So it's kind of them saying we don't want to work harder for electricity that they're not going to pay from us.
See, that's fucking human as hell. That's so dumb.
Right?
Like,
and it's one of those issues that, man, sometimes the solar business takes a dive because another city like Moreno Valley recently kind of like stopped. Allowing solar production.
At the same time, then the issue is it's too hard, right? Elon Musk, I mentioned earlier. Elon Musk has developed with Tesla. He owns Tesla, so
he actually recently acquired Solar City.
Yeah. So with Tesla, they found a way to create solar roofs. Period. Mm-hmm. Not solar panels, solar roofs. Mm-hmm. The entire roof will be solar. Jesus. And he said it costs the exact same amount, if not less. Than a regular roof.
Jesus Christ.
So, what is your struggle here? What is our issue? Like, what would be the problem? So, I think in due time, it's a matter of age. It's a matter of time, right? Give us another 10 years. All of these older people that are holding things, it's like the newspaper, right? They can't let the newspaper go and allow the internet to thrive, right?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of companies that want to keep things the same, which those things that they want to keep the same are destroying the fucking planet.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like there are a lot of alternative resources that we can use, but it's going to take time. And the scary part is whether or not the transition will take place, or we just stick with our old shit.
That's why a lot of people were tripping over the electric car. Remember,
right? And they destroyed it though. They destroyed the electric car. So
hybrids are helping, but it's like, you could have taken electric cars and completely reduced your carbon footprint instead of not frequenting the gas station as much.
Right. So what I'm saying is it's a matter of time, perhaps.
Yeah.
So maybe within that 1,000-year period, which probably is like maybe 100 years, and he's just trying to be nice. I hope that maybe in 10 to 25 years we have all of the alternative resources take over. And we won't have to deal with all of these things that are destroying the planet. No. Because our technology, I mean, in this year alone, we have developed technologies that people have not even fathomed, right? Like, have you guys been seeing, Kickstarters being funded that have been successful, and just these engineers that are getting their own opportunities to make these incredible things? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, we already have, the concept of drones is now standard. Mm-hmm. We have that's normal now. Yeah. So you don't think that at one point or another we might have some kind of technology that might be able to develop and develop soil, perhaps? Okay, I did see there's an invention. These guys found a way to program drones to seed trees, like entire forests. If they give them the opportunities, they could seed an entire forest in a day. Mm-hmm. I mean, it would take longer for it to grow, but they would have it seeded with the drones, like, and they showed the process of it being automated and just doing its own thing. Mm-hmm. So we have the technology, we have the ideas, but those old heads, the guys at the top, they're not okay with it. So
it's just the restrictions.
If they die off or they get a change of heart, we can save this planet. But at this rate, if we continue where we're going with the momentum that we have now, he's absolutely right. But he cannot foresee the future. For example, and I'll shut the hell up. Back to the Future. Yeah. Back to the Future called the future in a lot of ways, but it did not foresee the internet. It never made any reference to the internet because it just never could have thought of it. Yeah. So in that same context, he's probably making an assumption without knowing what new thing we might come up with.
Yeah, so this is all just pending if we are able to make this Earth thrive.
Right.
If we're all able to put aside capitalistic differences and hope that we can.
How much more do you need?
That's all it is. I mean, you take the whole facet of money and wealth. You take that all the window, we're going to be back down to how we were thousands of years ago, where we had to hunt. We had to. I'm not saying that we're going to start doing that. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go check my Gmail. I'm gonna go grab a bow and arrow real quick. No, but it's like we'll then know the worth of, you know, probably having our own garden, or the worth of, let's not waste this waste. You know, let's not waste it, and, you know, find it a different way so we can use it.
Probably be a safer way to get rid of waste. Instead of having fucking massive holes with, we just shove trash in and like just call it a day.
That's that's just funny too, because the basic premise of a landfill is like we'll just build a big ass hole
and just
fill it with shit,
fill it with a berry and walk away, and let mother
guys that work there too. Absolutely,
right. We're running out of space. Just make it taller.
Get taller, B. Yo, you can make that trash pile a little taller, B.
Yo, come on, B. Yo, don't fuck
around.
Have
you ever been to a landfill?
Yes.
That place is...
It's like
Toys R Us with stuff on the floor. It's like a lot of stuff.
It's just random. Like, what the hell? The things that people get rid of.
I saw a box of like those...
Mr. Sparkle?
I know. Yeah, I know. There was a box of like a bunch of like a company that probably went under or something, and then I had one of those like magnetic staple rings with the staples still in there. They had a box of like 100 of them. It's like, wow, there's tons of stuff that people just throw away.
I was there on a very windy day, and it was the worst smelling place I've ever been.
I thought you were gonna say like a fucking fish bones on your face.
No, that too. Like, because I guess the way wherever it was located, that was where the wind hit the strongest. So you're seeing entire mattresses that they abandoned just getting thrown around.
Let's read these couple of comments real quick. So, modern social and industrial infrastructure dependent upon oil from everything to cosmetics to steel to plastic to shipping to asphalt, everything depends on oil, and he is correct on that one. Mm-hmm. Mankind then could be a video game created for recreational use by some futuristic computer programmer. Mankind only exists as a computer program.
That's what I was going to say. So one day somebody's going to hit that reset button,
and then things
done.
We won't even know. We won't even be aware that we were reset.
It's not that far fetched to think that anyway.
But everything is run by oil. But then there's alternatives. There's so many alternatives that you can't deny them. I mean, even creating asphalt, you need a source of oil. Dude, we're already working on solar roads. Yeah. I mean, you've seen the solar roadways. Yeah, have you seen those?
No, what is that?
Okay, so it's a husband and wife. And they discovered a way to use LED lights as a source to create a solar form of road. So instead of actually having asphalt on the ground, it's just they're starting with driveways first because of course they're not going to pass a full road just yet. Yeah. But with like driveways, basically, like let's say if there was an accident, right? Mm-hmm. First of all, these things glow at night and they have LEDs. So if there was an accident on the freeway, the road would tell you while you're driving on it, like with LED lights, there is an accident 3 blocks ahead. Be careful because they're all LEDs and they will always light up because they're solar powered. The lines and everything that they would have to pave with paint and all that other shit, it would be LED lights. So when you pull up to a stoplight, you just see the LED white lines, like the same exact way. They would be brighter at night so you can see them, and you won't rely entirely on your headlights. It's a genius concept, and they had to kickstart it. It did pass, but it's like those ideas should be passed immediately.
Yeah, well,
just go with it.
But then there's companies like paving companies that
won't be okay with it. And the problem is, it's more cost efficient. it's easy to install. So like, let's say, one of those panels, because the way it's set up, it's like a bunch of octagons, right? Mm-hmm. So if one of those octagons cracks or breaks a little bit or some car explodes on it, you just pull the octagon out and put a new one in. And it's like less than a 10-minute job. Whereas you'd have to repave, fix everything like that.
Caltrans would make that more than a 10-minute job. I've seen it. Man,
I don't even want to get
They've been working on some areas where I'm
eating here. I mean, like all these...
Just put the stop sign in. Guys, come on. We need 3 more guys.
Down the street, they've been working on that road forever,
Let's
dude.
get the crane in here. Beep, beep. Just for like the simplest shit. But yeah, you're right. Maybe just labor and like this sounds.
That's good though.
This is money shit though. You're talking about capitalism. This is dumb. If you care about the planet, fuck money and figure out a new way. But unfortunately, if money is the reason this planet goes down, that we don't deserve to be here.
Which
Come
will.
on.
That's the reason. That's just what happened, man.
So this is the first time you've heard of solar road rage.
Yeah, I have not heard of that.
Doesn't that sound kind of amazing?
It sounds crazy.
It sounds amazing. Like
super
even like
legit.
they were showing stuff. They were like, well, if it was the holidays, we could have it Christmas themed on the floor, just because they want to.
Just because,
yeah.
And it saves you time. It saves you a job.
You're swerving. Hey, yo, wake up, B.
Wake up, B. Bing, 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 bing. But it's like, come on, look at all these ideas and concepts that could save this fucking planet. They make it sound like it's difficult to save the planet, and it's like, no,
not.
I just made a thing that turns trash into gas. Like people have found ways to turn. Like piss into a fuel, which is not to be vulgar, but there's so many alternatives than us having to depend on oils and gases. I mean, come on,
it's there.
You mean exactly. The only thing that always hampers, revolutions like this is capitalism, and it's the fact that companies you're going to be by solar companies installing panels, you're hurting the electrical company.
right?
And which they should just move into solar panels,
right? That's what let go of electricity and start jump into
before the electric company started, started doing their thing. Mm. How do you think the gas companies felt like, or even people that I don't know supplied? I mean, people that supplied ice.
People that supplied lanterns.
I know. People that supplied ice were probably pissed off because of the fridge. It's like there's all these guys.
It's an evolution.
Exactly. And you have to evolve.
You have to fight. You have to fight with it. And I'm sorry, guys, if my solutions sound like very simplified, because they are simplified.
They actually very simple.
Yeah,
it's good though.
But it is that simple.
It is slick.
That's the thing, dude.
It's
but
beautiful.
I'm an electric company. Fuck it, we'll go solar. That sounds too simple. That's what I'm saying.
Oh no, Look, I'm going to tell you guys one thing too: is Edison won't have that because Edison's union, and you have to make sure to keep the you have to make sure to keep the hourly rates up.
See,
trust me, dude. It's that's what I'm telling you. I thought it was that easy.
They've created complexities through all these systems that they've already established. Well, I mean, we got to figure out alternatives, right? Like a person says, robots are going to take all the jobs. But in reality, you got to have maintenance for the robots. So it's like all the jobs will be taken, but there will be like replacement jobs in different areas.
People think it's going to happen overnight, too,
right? But I mean, this is the thing that I just trying to get this last concept out is like, as he is right, he's absolutely right. Shit is going bad. Earth is going to fucking die if we stay on the route we are on.
Stephen King is right.
Stephen King is correct, the creator of it. But if we stay on the path that we're on, we're doomed for real.
We're at an accelerated rate with everything.
Right.
Population, just populating the Earth. We're driving more every year than we had the previous year.
Right.
It's just we're just going. It's at this constant spike of everything just being added, and it's not coming down.
Exactly,
and going faster, if anything.
But that's the thing. I think we underestimate our own intelligence as human beings. Like there's, like I said, those small things that I mentioned. There's far more. They're just not getting. Their Kickstarters aren't successful, or they're just not getting the attention that's needed, or it's like isolated. Like you can only use that incredible invention in this small little location.
Yeah.
I mean, because even like something as simple as a battery in your laptop is affecting your health. Because it emits a certain kind of frequency, it emits certain levels of heat. It hurts you.
Even with cell phones and radiation.
Yes, cell phones and radiation. And then I remember telling you about the dude that created the battery that self-charges itself. And it doesn't emit anything.
Oh, wow.
So once you cut the device off, it charges itself. And Sony destroyed him. And took his patent, and he can't use it. Like he can't create his own invention anymore.
So
what the fuck do you do when you have companies with all this power sweeping out all these people?
If you invent something, and then here comes, I don't know, like say if you invented a refill, like a type of soda that all you have to do is add it with water, and it's like even better tasting than some sodas out there.
I make an everlasting Gobstopper, like a real one.
Cool.
With soda, yeah, we'll do that. and Coca-Cola comes in, and they're like, "Look, what's the price it's going to make you? Give us the patent."
No price.
Oh, then we'll
take it.
It's going to be happening in one of those instances where the guy, I remember, there's plenty of patents that were just mysteriously vanished, or people that like inventors that were just mysteriously disappeared. It takes you into one of those type of routes.
Yeah, and we can't go there, but just that concept, right?
It sucks.
I make something that's life changing. I've created the cure for an insolvable disease or whatever.
Yeah, if you want to go to a less lethal route, same thing with the electric car patents.
Right.
GM ended up buying the electric car. But all the companies started buying the electric car patents and just wiped
them out. Yeah.
And all you have to do is keep them, and then GM's obligated to destroy them because that is now not their idea.
Right. So
for people that need to watch it, it's called "Who Killed the Electric Vehicle."
But here's the thing. Let's hope that humans aren't so hell-bent on making cash and to let this planet burn. But maybe in 20 years, all these old wigs die. Not to be cruel, but just people die eventually, And most of the people that are heads of these big operations are late in their years.
Yeah.
So maybe
Hopefully people start thinking differently.
Yeah.
The majority,
right,
is what you're saying.
Right. So hopefully we get some shifts. But Stephen Hawking. He does have a point, and I'm not mad at him. He's actually coming from a very interesting perspective. But he's also like half AI, so maybe he knows more than we know.
Half AI.
He's one with the machines. So
he is, man. He has a machine talking for him. Why do you let that machine do your job if you think you know everything, Mr. Hawking?
Eat a dick.
I know. Below me.
Got him.
Got him.
Bunch of M's. I like that.
Sometimes Stephen Hawking wants to fuck with you. He just puts everything in binary. 001 000111 0001.
What?
Damn, man! You wouldn't let him talk to you like
you
that?
You won't let him talk shit? Yo, son, you see how many ones was behind that zero?
Homeboy's talking mad shit about you being binary.
Yo, son, if a nigga told me 01101, oh man, you don't even
get me started.
Oh, don't make me talk my Timbs, man.
So let's go into a lighter subject now. What do you say?
Oh yeah, the destruction of the planet.
I like hanging out with you guys. You guys are depressing, dude.
Well, we got 999 years to go.
Oh, yeah. We're good then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
so we'll make it.
We alright.
Let's talk about our favorite movies.
Oh yeah, that is easier. That's a lot less.
Do you guys? I don't know if each of you do, because this is my kind of type of movie I like to watch. But do you guys have any favorite sports movies? Like any, even if you don't like sports, whatever, that's out of the
window. Even if sports is like the kind of the base of the film, right?
Exactly.
The Fighter is pretty good. The boxing movie.
The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg and Christian Bale.
Christian
that was a very good
dude.
one. Damn. He was the one that like swore up and down that he knocked down Ray Leonard, even though it was like a slip. It was funny.
And they were doing the documentary on him, but it's really about
him and his like drug addiction.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
Yeah, that was awesome, man. Christian Bale did a damn good job.
Hell yeah, he's the man, dude.
He got really buff skinny for that.
Buff skinny?
No, he's really skinny. He got like
buff skinny is just
the
funny,
machine
though.
is skinny for that role. And Andre's still thinking over here.
No, because I have two.
Cool Runnings,
and then actually Cool Running. So I was thinking of the same movie twice. That's why I was confused.
Oh, because
I was like Cool Runnings. And I was
you're thinking of Space Jam.
Running Cools.
Running Cools.
I was really
Running
Cools. No, but without a doubt, it was for sure. It was it's not We Are Titans, is it?
No,
Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans, and He Got Game. Ironically, to Denzel films, this is not intentional.
Yeah, right.
But He Got Game was interesting because it surrounded sports, but it wasn't necessarily about playing.
Yeah.
It was about a high school student having such like an amazing skill that these colleges would do anything to get him to go to their college.
Yeah.
And they were doing some really like it kind of gets disturbing a little bit. It's like, all right, so like they bring the guy to the campus. And then they show him around, and then the dude just leaves him in a room, and there's two butt naked white women in there.
Damn.
And like this girl that he's been with from the beginning, like since he was young, like an agent's like banging her and making her call him and say, "Baby, you should go to this school." Like fucked up stuff. Like it was very deep to show how crazy it gets when you start to get closer to fame.
Yeah.
Because his friends, family, his father who was in prison shows up out of nowhere, who's Denzel Washington, and like tries to get back into his life just because he's going to be an NBA star basically. And it's
Jesus
just like
Shuttlesworth.
It was crazy, man.
Jesus,
that film was like remarkable.
Why'd you call me Jesus, man? It's a biblical name. I love that part. Didn't Denzel swear that he was still better than his son? Right?
Yes,
that was
yes. He's like, play me. He's all like, ball me up. He's all old and dying. And he's like, son's all.
He looked like Stretch.
Yeah, and his son's all. Yeah. And his son's doing reversals and shit. It was Ray Allen, right?
Yeah, Ray Allen.
Ray Allen doing reversal dunks on him, and then Denzel's like, "You still ain't shit." Like it was a very touching film because it kind of shows you the dark side of being on the rise to fame.
Gotcha.
And then Remember the Titans was just a feel good film to me, despite the racial undertones.
Yeah, for the setting that it was set in, I was like, okay, some racist shit's about to go down, but it's only just to add to the climax.
Yeah,
And
it was cool. I think there was only one lynching in the film, and it was very fun. It was comical lynching.
God damn it.
Boing! Like it had cool sound effects.
Oh my god! Only you could say a joke like that on the Mark Andre show. Boing!
Yeah.
Look at the Nike. He had Nike shocks on.
Oh man.
What about you?
With me, I enjoy Major League a lot. I like watching Major League. I can still rewatch it. I think that it's. A lot of people give me a lot of flack for it, but I think it's probably one of the best baseball movies ever. It's like brings a great realism to what professional sports is to people at the major league level when a shitty team goes from nothing to something.
Wait, what was this film again?
It's Major League.
Major League. Who was in
The
this?
one with Charlie Sheen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one with Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger. I forget the other guy's name. Corbin Burnson. Yeah, that guy. It's a good movie. I remember watching it plenty of times. My dad would rent it. He would always rent the same 3 movies. He'd rent Major League. Later on, he'd always rent The Naked Gun, but he'd always rent Ace Ventura. And it's not even a joke. I probably
You brought this back again?
Yeah, exactly. We would just go to the same section of that same video store when we would go to New Mexico. It'd just be... We would just we would instinctively grab the same 3 movies, and it was still on VHS, mind you.
Yeah.
Before the advent of the DVD, before we all had DVD players.
Guys, there's a baseball film with Bradoff Pitler and
Moneyball.
Moneyball's a good
Moneyball.
movie too.
I was trying to remember that one.
Bradoff Pitler.
Bradoff Pitler and Jonah Hills and
Joachim Hills.
Joachim Hillson.
That's a great movie about baseball.
Because you were saying something
about
an underdog that like...
I would say about the back office portion of baseball.
Right.
But it's still entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
there's a lot of tense scenes. You know, like Jonah has to tell a player that he's been traded,
or when Brad Pitt's like negotiating a 3-way trade with teams that he hasn't even offered anything
exactly.
to. It was crazy, man.
And it's like, and this is based on a true story, which made it, you know, of course we could take certain scenes with a grain of salt, but it was one of those films I do recall after I watched it, like, holy shit, that was just, the performances were great. I think I made some jokes because every scene Brad's like throwing some shit.
Yeah,
like
he's always
every other scene he was like throwing a chair or something.
Like always just kept putting that like pensive look on him.
But that was a great film because that was their best season, and they never had a season. They never won like since then, right?
They had one of the best records in baseball during that year, and by the way the premise of the film goes, is that this guy, this math whiz, was able to essentially maximize a player's output, but not have their salary as high as other players would with the same output.
Yeah, so grabbing a bunch of budget players that had attributes that would make the team perfect.
Which it worked, but then little by little you realize that it doesn't fire, lightning doesn't strike twice.
Right.
So the expectations that they had after the year after just didn't pan out, because it's like you're putting money ultimately on the house, especially with players that get injured, especially with injury-prone players. Too many variables.
But it was one of those films that, it was actually very... I would say it was an intense film for some reason. It's not like a thriller or anything, but it had just those like, man, this is really incredible that this is working for them, because it was like this was unheard of at the time.
Yep.
And just having that experience, I forgot about that film.
It was thrown away all the scouts. All the scouts were like, "This is no, we're not going to." It was always throwing them through a loop in the film and stuff. I thought that was very. It just brought so many feuds into it. I thought it was funny. What about you, Slick?
What about you?
I'm not.
What, like the Mighty Ducks, Rocky?
You don't believe in sports or something?
No, I just...
You're better than sports?
Man, stop yelling at me, B. No, I'm just not... I don't know, dude. I'm not a big sports guy. Therefore,
you got
those... Yeah.
What about, like, when you were as a kid? You didn't like any sports movies as a kid?
Like what, dude?
Mighty Ducks. You didn't say quack, quack. Come on, you didn't say quack.
I was
quack.
I was whatever about the Mighty Ducks.
Quack.
The Big Green? That was...
Okay, see, there we go. See, now we have something to work with. Steve Guttenberg. Steve Guttenberg, that...
He already has the plot synopsis.
That one redhead from The Sandlot that's in every... That's always the fat guy in every movie. The first Jonah Hill. That was redhead.
He was the first Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a good way to put it.
So, that's a good movie. It's one of those feel-good movies, like where you have this rambunctious team that... wins a soccer tournament. I thought it was entertaining when I was little.
I'm just being honest with you. The more I think about it, I really haven't seen that many sports movies in my life, dude. Like,
Any Given Sunday?
Nope.
Okay.
You can keep throwing movies. I mean, I probably have not seen them.
Black Swan?
That's not
Black Swan is...
I mean, she played like tennis for one like scene.
No, it didn't happen.
Making up scenes.
Blacker Swan?
The real Black Swan. It was
Tyler Perry.
It was a Tyler Perry joint.
Tyler Perry presents
Tyler
Black
Perry,
Swan.
Spike Lee joint.
Medea's Black Swan. Oh, y'all ain't putting me in this now. Medea goes to space.
Damn. I don't know. You guys just threw a curveball at me. You know?
Oh!
See, I was waiting for something. I was waiting for a sports-related pun.
There we go.
And I thought it was going to come from you or me.
I'm thrilled. Like, I thought you guys would say Space Jam at one fucking point.
I threw it at you earlier. Just throw it.
Oh, you did? Because a brother knows who Michael Jordan is. You know what I'm saying?
What is it, 20 years since Space Jam came out? That was
Lord.
recent, right? No, that was like a couple days ago or something. That
it just happened.
Oh, it was
20 the 20th or the 25th. No, 20th.
God damn.
Man, that was a long time
This
ago.
one's some drools.
But this is when it was kind of cool to mesh in because Michael Jordan was the king of cool at the time.
Michael Jordan was everything.
He was...
Ball is life, as we say.
When he even came back to the Wizards, that got me watching basketball. That made me want to buy games with him in it because for a long time you were never finding games with him in it.
Which was crazy, right? Like he was like this most like untouchable character.
I don't want to be in this game.
I can't be in the game. I'm too.
Why would they do that?
Because
his stats would have been 100% or something.
Licensing, it a mixture with him being too good or some games like that. But then at the end of the day, when he came back from retirement and joined the Wizards, and he ended up being allowed to be in games, that was cool. but to go to the point that that we're making is that when Jordan was in Space Jam, like when we heard the news about Michael Jordan or the trailers.
Hey, did you hear the news? Jordan's in Space Jam.
Extra, read all about it. Michael Jordan in Space Jams. So he ends up joining fucking the Warner Brothers cartoons.
That's
To defeat
the move.
That was genius.
Space aliens who acquired the skills of Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Sean Bradley, and Muggsy Bogues. And did I mention Charles Barkley?
No, but did you mention?
Oh, Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson was the fifth. They acquired all those skills, and and then it's up to Michael Jordan and a bunch of Michael Jordan's the only good player.
Yeah.
Out of that
the
whole
only
squad.
one.
And I guess Bugs can hoop a little bit.
Bugs can kind of ball.
Yeah, and then Lola can too.
Lola Bunny, the one time.
And it was up to Wayne Knight, Wayne Knight's character in the movie, and then Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, because Bill Murray can do anything Bill Murray wants. They're like, "How did you get here?" Oh, my friend's an agent. No, because they were like, "How'd you get out?" Oh, yeah, my friend's an agent, and he just got me here.
Yeah,
like what the hell? The producer's a friend of mine, and I just pull some strings, and here I am.
The CGI was okay. I thought it was like meshing Michael into their world, and then the I was about to say like the Warner Brothers cartoons into the real world were pretty good. I thought there were some scenes that really like messed with me when I was little, like the scene where Charles Barkley's walking down the street. Hey, that's Charles Barkley.
That's Charles Barkley.
And then it's like two chicks, right?
Yeah,
two chicks.
But come on, they
want
take their
to
talent so far that he can't even catch the ball. Like, come on.
It's like, you're not Charles Barkley. You're a phony.
You're just a fake that look like Charles Barkley, son. Yo, get up out of here, B.
Then,
I know that's not. That's the version I had. Dude, get out of here.
The bootleg version.
Man, my bootlegs were bad, man. They were all like totally different characters.
And then Danny DeVito ended up playing his animated self.
Yeah,
because he looked like that. Looked exactly like an animated devilish ghoul version of Danny DeVito.
Get out of here!
Because he looks like a sleaze.
Yo, don't be disrespectful to Danny.
Yo, that's Frank Reynolds. We're the bomb, man.
Now you're just mashing it.
Gail the Snail.
Yeah.
Gail the Snail. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, baby.
That's what's up.
What other sports movies that? Because I personally like Cool Runnings.
Shit, I gave you.
Because Cool Runnings is loosely based on a true
based
story.
on the Olympics. I don't really have any more. I'm actually in the same boat as you.
I got excited because you're like, all right, let's talk favorite movies, sports movies. God
damn it! Like, your whole list shattered in front of your eyes.
Like it's just that's my life.
Okay, then
what's your favorite movies then, motherfucker?
Yeah, there we go. Favorite movies.
Favorite movies with lasers in it.
What?
All specific.
So what? You like Heavyweights, Fat Boy?
That's a good movie, dude.
It's a good movie.
That's a great movie.
It actually was like a movie he liked.
It's like, dude, that's one of my favorites. Yeah, I have it tattooed on my chin.
Heavy on one arm and weights on the other arm.
You gotta use the buddy system. Buddy!
I can feel it, Lars. I can feel it, Uncle Tony.
Young Keenan, man.
Yeah, Kenan Thompson, Goldberg. They had a couple other fat kids.
Couple of the fat kids.
They did.
Some fat people.
I personally thought that Heavyweights was funny. I didn't know. Like, my friend ended up showing me Heavyweights, and I guess it was like a made-for-Disney movie.
Yeah, that's how I saw it. Like, because I used to live in LA, and my cousins lived down the street.
Yeah.
And they had cable, so it's like when we would come over here, it's like, let's watch Heavyweights and that. And then, years later, like probably 10 years ago, I actually found a copy of that movie. I went back and watched it. I was like,
well, on VHS, DVD?
On DVD.
Oh, really? DVD?
Yeah.
And I think they have it on Blu-ray now.
How's this possible?
It's Stephen Hawking's, man.
Is this true?
Oh, we might have to watch Heavyweights after this. That might be funny. But Heavyweights is great because it's one of those Disney made for Disney Channel movies. Mm-hmm. But with the editing that you see within the movie, you could see that there's a lot of parts edited out that shouldn't have been there. Like the Seymour Butts gag, when Goldberg drops his punchline about nobody sees more butts than you, Uncle Tony, then you could tell that those lines aren't the ones that are coming out. Mm-hmm. So
a lot of overdubbing.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And there's that other scene where the guys are cruising, like, I don't know, the hip jocks from across the camp.
Yeah.
There's always those in every camp movie. He's crossing by, and he's like, you stink. And I'm like, realistically, in a movie like that, would teenage kids call other teenage kids, like, you stink, you suck? No. It's like, they're either going to say you suck or you're fat fucks.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But it's a Disney movie, so they're not going to say fat fucks.
Such a margin.
Yeah.
It's a huge margin. But you stink.
Tin Cup. My dad just suggested Tim Cup. Golf scenes were cool. Rest of the movie sucked.
Oh, Happy Gilmore.
Kingpin. Did you ever see Kingpin?
Oh, yeah, Kingpin's a good one.
Yeah.
Is that considered a sports movie?
Dude, you're going to get a lot of bowlers pissed off. There's a huge bowler demographic on the Mark and Andre show.
Then...
Bowling is a sport, man.
I didn't say it's not.
You questioned it like it wasn't.
In that case, then we're talking Big Lebowski here, dude. Shit.
To a certain extent, Big Lebowski is a bowling movie, only for like a couple of scenes.
Hey, man, don't mess with the Jesus. That's all I'm saying.
Heavyweights... Wait, we're still not even talking about sports anymore. So Heavyweights, you thought it was a good movie?
You just threw that out, and I was like, it's good, and then you just wouldn't shut the hell up about it.
A bunch of classic lines in there. Remember when
Stop talking about Heavyweights, dude.
Well, I'm still on this.
He's getting frustrated.
I want to talk about movies, man.
Well, one more thing.
Give us your... Oh, okay.
When the fat camp counselor is telling Uncle Tony, he's like, look, dude, I don't think this is healthy. And then Ben Stiller as Uncle Tony is like, wait, the fat man is trying to tell me what's healthy. I thought that was a good line.
That's a good burn. That's a sick
I
burn.
didn't send you to go-kart camp.
Well, what about you? Huh?
Yeah, let us know, Slick.
What's your big movie?
What do you want to like?
No, fuck that.
Top movies?
Just throw
Top-
some movies out. We'll
Just
talk
fuck it.
about it. If we know about it, let's talk about it. This is improv.
Probably my favorite movie is probably No Country for not No Country.
No Country for Old Men. Oh,
Well, No
fantastic.
Country's in there, but There Will Be Blood. That's my movie.
Oh, There Will Be Blood is fantastic, but you like No Country for Old Men less than There Will Be Blood.
There will like the more I watch There Will Be Blood, like
Who's in There Will Be Blood?
Daniel Day-Lewis, Louis Day Daniels,
Louis Knight Daniels,
and Danny McDaniels.
and his brother Jack.
The thing about that, it's a Coen Brothers film, so
Okay.
it's one of those things that you don't expect rules to be followed. It kind of does. Its
No
own
Country is
thing.
what you're talking
No
about.
cliches.
No, I'm talking about There Will Be Blood.
That's not a Coen Bros movie.
That's not.
No,
Well, who did There Will Be
I
Blood?
can't remember who it is, but it's not a Coen Bros movie.
Are you sure?
Yeah, positive. Look it up.
I'm looking up.
Fargo
right now.
was Coen's,
Yeah.
and that movie. I
If you want
didn't,
to talk Coens, that's
I didn't like Fargo. I thought Fargo was
not
all
their best. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I thought Fargo was all right. I was getting a lot of.
It was a dark comedy. That's why.
I was getting the sense of, oh, you haven't seen Fargo?
Yeah.
And I'm all like, well, I've seen the front cover of it. It's like not really lively.
yeah.
And
It's cool. It's cool. Movie.
I saw it, and it's a pregnant deputy trying to figure out a crime that kind of involves her family. And
Sorry, it's Paul Thomas Anderson.
There it is. That's the dude.
It's just the pacing and the shot styles were very similar to what a Coen brother would do. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, so Fargo. I mean, I was not disappointed with Fargo, but I was expecting a little more.
Yeah,
with
you
Fargo.
expected the way people still talk about that. movie,
But that
kinda.
that actually let me know about the Coen brothers from that point. I was like, well, I've seen No Country for Old Men first, then I saw Fargo.
Well,
and
Fargo
this
was
is-
their concept of a comedy film that derailed. Like it
Yeah.
starts as a comedy, and then it actually gets serious, and then you get confused because it's like the tonal switch was
their
so
movies
drastic.
are trippy like that. Though.
Well, yeah,
Like, that's what I love about
They
them.
don't follow rules. So you start a film and you're like, this is about a heist, and then by the end of it, you're with a voodoo priest, and you're trying to figure out how did we even get here. And initially, the film started with a very serious heist tone, and at the end, it's a comedy. And it's like, how did we even? I don't remember the journey to get to this end point. But the Coens do shit like that all the time. Like
I've yet to see a Coen Brothers movies that I didn't like. I haven't. I'm not gonna say I've seen.
You
them
haven't
all,
watched them all. Yeah, there's so many of them.
But the ones I've seen, like,
What about any Tarantino joints that you recommend besides the typical? Like,
my favorite one. I know everybody says Pulp Fiction and everything, but Inglourious Bastards is
yeah, Glorious
blows
Bastards
me away,
probably-
dude.
it's criminally slept on.
That's
I was sweating so hard in the first scene. I was like, oh my god, this scene's
right.
very tense.
Oh my god, that acting just.
Christoph Waltz threw it out the
Christoph Waltz really like.
The thing is, everybody in that movie kills it. Like everybody's on point in that movie. It's just
I think a lot of people didn't pay attention to this film because they
didn't.
were bored. It's not action packed, but that's not Tarantino's style
Tarantino's
exactly.
dialogue heavy.
It's-
It's
yeah.
dialogue and it's
Once you get into-
period driven dialogue.
That was 20 minutes that first scene.
yeah. And people don't think about that. Like that's like half the movie right
Yeah,
there.
and then the other half is
And
that
your
bar
heart
scene
rate is up the whole time. The bar scene
is super notorious. I love that,
Oh
man.
my god!
And that
He
one
knows
turn.
he knows when to crank up the music, what song to put on there. It's just
You guys like True Romance?
it's pretty good.
True Romance, I thought it was pretty cool.
Tarantino just wrote that, right?
yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
Tarantino
wrote True Romance. It's Gary Oldman, Brad Pitt, the fat guy from The Sopranos.
It's been a while since I've
Rest
seen
in
that one, dude.
peace. James
Huh?
Gandolfini.
Huh?
Brad Pitt's in it.
Huh?
Jesus Christ.
Who else is in it? Oh, the chick from Natural Born Killers is in it.
Oh, Brad Pitt.
No, actually, that's not even her.
Huh?
Shut up! Huh? Can you imagine? Anyway, True Romance is good.
Yeah.
But with me, I enjoy a lot of period pieces too.
Yeah.
Gladiator, Troy, Saving Private Ryan,
And Private Ryan is amazing, dude.
Robin Hood.
Makes me quiet.
Kevin Costner's Robin Hood is pretty cool. The ones that I really like too, I really like it when directors take a lot of risks. I rewatched Waterworld, and man, that movie was ambitious, but it was I think it was like 20 years too early.
You think so?
Oh,
Dude,
shit.
if they
its
actually,
budget was unreal too, right?
their budget was crazy unreal. But if you take that same premise, fix a little tweaks here and there with Waterworld itself, it could be a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just the film doesn't know what to do with itself. It's always Kevin Costner's like fixing the shit on his boat, and then it's like you're stuck at the majesty of that. But then there's an actual plot that they have to follow where he's actually like a half mutant, and he has to save this girl that has a map to dry land on her back. And then the movie ends on a bad note because he goes to the island and then he's like, I have to leave again. This isn't a place for me. But it makes sense. And I look back at it and I was like, oh, it makes sense. He's not he doesn't like land. He's half fucking fish. So but it made sense, but it's just like, I thought he found love.
It wasn't polished. The film wasn't very polished. And they could have trimmed a lot of fat. A lot of fat.
I just need movies that give me emotion. I don't need like comedies and stuff like that. They're cool and stuff like that, but I don't need to laugh. I need something that's gonna.
Well, what do you need in a film? Yeah,
I just need to feel something like.
Like a porno?
Yeah, I need to feel myself, dude.
No, but
no,
so
I just
emotion
need, I just
or
need to have
drama. Like
I just need to either be
thrilled.
I need to be tense. I need to be, or I need to cry for these people.
You want immersion. You want to be in the film.
I want to be in the film.
Because when you're watching a comedy, you're not.
I hate being
immersed.
in the theater and somebody's talking like I can't stand that crap. I can't stand like somebody. I don't know.
When I went to watch The Arrival. I forgot to tell you, when I watched The Arrival, I don't know what day, I fucking forgot. The movie was okay. A lot of people gave
all that hype.
They gave
dude, that's what I was saying. It's like the movie, dude.
I was gonna try to go this weekend.
The ending for that movie was. I saw what was going on. Like I've seen a lot of movies already, and it's just like I've seen them for the sake of review. I've seen a movie like that. I don't. You know, when I go to movies now with Andre, I have to like look and watch the movie for itself. But it's like once I saw what was going on, there was a couple hints in the movie that made me. I was like, shit. So this is what it is. This girl doesn't. The reason why she's able to do whatever she does in this movie is because of this, and I saw that like halfway into the movie.
That's the thing. Like, once you watch too many movies, you just break them apart, dude.
Yeah, that's why it's good to.
This ending's gonna be trash. That's why.
So
because everything's by the textbook, man. And that's why you watch a Coen Brothers film and you can't predict shit. Like that was the main character. They just killed him.
And in the
what the hell just happened?
When I was in the theater, it's just like a little girl's behind me, and all you hear is this. And this is for the sake of the studio. It's like she had candy. Nope. And I'm just all like, dude, like the movie's coming on. It's like after the previews and it's the beginning scene, and I'm trying to like, you got to get into it. Like aliens start coming in here, just fucking random shit. I'm like, man, come on, like, and then all you feel, don't you hate it, dude, when you're just trying to relax and all of a sudden you just hear that the kicks to the back of your seat.
I can't, dude. I flip out and I get shit for it all the time. Like with people I go with and stuff like that, they're like, you're just being a little bitch. You're crying about nothing. It's like, no, man. Like I paid money to see this. I really care about this feeling right now.
And I didn't want to scoot 4 seats over because then it would be like, well, I know why he moved. Oh,
I don't give a shit.
I know that's what I thought about doing later. It's just luckily the creature stopped.
But I started this thing now where I pretty much sit in the front now. Like I noticed people don't go over there.
They just don't fuck with the front.
They don't fuck with the front, and I actually like it a lot more now.
My dad said, "I won't watch a movie unless I've seen it before."
Hell yeah!
I won't watch a movie unless I've seen it before. Okay,
no questions asked. So you go for the immersive experience and to be on a journey
and rewatchability. If
there's layers that you could miss, and
that too. Well, like in what was the Tarantino we were talking about?
Yeah, what's a movie that
Inglourious
you can...
Bastards? It'll stop me in my tracks, and I'm just sitting there watching it again, and I feel for these characters, and the same thing. Like I notice a lot of things, like for example, okay, in that beginning scene when they're he's kind of giving them the third degree without necessarily telling them like why he's fully there. You know what I mean? If you know how he has his daughters in the house, and they're giving him the milk and all that stuff, and they're just sitting there. If you're paying attention to, I think the girl on the left, she's kind of like looking down. She like looks down for a second, at the floorboards where where they had people hiding out. Spoilers, but so then Christoph Waltz kind of he like looks at her and stuff like that, and it's like you don't really catch little stupid
subtleties. Yeah.
Quick. And then there's like at one part, like I think right when she's giving him the milk, I think he's like, it looks like he's kind of feeling her pulse. Kind of, he like grabs her wrist.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's kind of like seeing how nervous she is.
And then he was like, I got it. And he had confirmed it by then. There's a lot of
little things. It's things that you wouldn't think of, that these directors think of. It's like,
because they especially if you're the writer, I mean, you can be in the emotion of the character, so you know exactly what you want, and that's why Quentin's perfect. Yeah, because he can feel emotion. He wants tension. He wants things to be scary.
Dude. What do you guys think of like his newer movies, dude? Because a lot of people trash on him.
Well, Inglourious Bastards was good, and I haven't seen Hateful Eight yet.
Okay, so Hateful Eight was designed as a play, and a lot of people missed it. Yeah, it was a play, and the lighting and the motif and everything is set as a play. It's all locked in one location.
They really did.
I think my problem with the film was just it didn't do anything, right? Like, his thing is a humongous twist of some kind. He literally told you, and that's what fucked the movie up. He stops the movie to tell you the twist, and then once you find the twist out, you've kind of lost the magic. The whole point of the film was to make you go, who did it? But, with a whodunit type of film, you don't find out till the last second. But he stops the movie.
And then goes, happened. What is it, like a half hour left after that?
Mm-hmm. And then at that point, the tension has been completely seeped out. And now you're just waiting for the ending. And then the ending was dry. But I can see why people hated it, because this was the strongest that the film relied on dialogue. And
because they're only in that cabin. It is a long movie.
But it was great. I thought it was great. But I won't say it's his best.
It's not. But that's what's hard. When you like all these movies, it's like, people are like, well, that's not the best. Yeah, but it's still good.
It's still great, better than what the fuck you've been getting.
Exactly.
The thing is, I don't think a lot of people watch or get entertainment correct at all. So when it comes to someone like Quentin Tarantino, he's a cinematographer too. He has a great cinematographer with him, but his shots matter. Angles matter. Oh, yeah. He holds a shot in a certain way because you're supposed to look at the guy behind this person's shoulder because they're doing something. Those levels.
Everything's done deliberately.
There's no accidents.
I wasn't able to watch movie. Like, I didn't have that same rule in my head for a long time. And once you start looking at all that, oh my goodness, that makes you rewatch movies again.
Oh yeah, because it takes the art to a new level.
Everything.
Tarantino changed my life with that, dude. Once I start watching his stuff, I'm like, oh, holy shit! Now I'm going back, or like if he's talking about a movie, I got to go back and watch that because this inspired him. So and I love this. You know what I mean?
Oh, fucking! Have you seen? Oh, so you were gonna make a
point. Like at the end of everything's shot very deliberately. Every time a director shows something, it alludes to something, or it's brought there just to either throw in a new emotion or whatever.
Right.
A good example is Michael Douglas's Falling Down.
Oh, dude.
So, he goes through all this bullshit, and Michael Douglas thinks it's justified just because he's having a bad day. Mm-hmm. Throughout the whole day, Robert Duvall's having his last day. Mm-hmm. But when they both meet at the pier, like one singular point, that's why they're there deliberately at this one single point.
Because we've kind of narrowed down into this very moment.
Yeah, and there's no going any further because you're at the end. Now, the development between the characters where this guy's like, look, I have a similar situation as you do, Michael Douglas to Robert Duvall's character. Robert Duvall's character to Michael Douglas's character. And then at the end, spoilers, it's movies from 20 years ago, so you should watch it. Robert Duvall shoots Michael Douglas's character. Mm-hmm. Michael Douglas then falls down at the end into the water as he's been doing the whole movie. Mm-hmm. He's just been going on a downward spiral ever since. And falling down, I was just like, wait, falling down? Okay, what? Okay, so it's his emotional journey, but then the ultimate symbolism comes in when he just fucking drops dead into the ocean.
So when
super
you have
cool, man.
Those moments, and you lose your fucking shit.
It makes you appreciate cinema a whole lot more.
The movie that broke me, like you said, Quentin Tarantino. Once you figured out his technique and you see other directors do these things, you're like, oh,
it blows your mind, dude.
So it was Back to the Future, and Mark knows why. But Back to the Future broke me.
Yeah,
it's the most complex film that's ever been created.
Oh, dude, it's up there, dude. Absolutely, without a doubt.
It's like beyond there. It's crazy, yeah, dude. There's so many things in that film that it's dude, every shot is like, who would have even sat down and thought of that and then decided to put that in a film? But Battle Royale. Have you seen Battle Royale?
Yeah, I have actually.
Influenced Quentin Tarantino. That's his favorite film.
Yeah.
Battle Royale. It's basically Hunger Games.
Yeah.
It's Hunger Games before Hunger Games. But this is a Hunger Games that actually has the balls to go there.
Oh, violence.
Violence.
Oh, hell, dude.
I mean, they take... Basically, the concept in this reality is the worst school, the worst class of the worst school.
Yeah.
They all, like, basically, they smoke them out, put them to sleep, and then they wake up on a deserted island with collars that explode.
Oh yeah, I've seen little bits and pieces of it, but I haven't seen it in its entirety.
They're like, you have a certain amount of time.
Either kill each other.
Or these collars explode.
One of you's gonna live.
One of you's gonna live out of this whole class.
Dang.
Starting now. So,
and then if you talk back, well, fine, we'll just blow you up now.
Yeah, somebody's like, yes, bullshit. That's not gonna. Beep, blew his head off.
Dang.
And they're like, all right, so you guys think this is a game? Now,
oh, you think this is a game?
Yeah. Oh, it was crazy.
And then Triple H gave him the
a lot of the shots,
pedigree.
a lot of the shots and the work done in that film.
Yeah.
I mean, for what it was like 1970 or something. Quentin Tarantino stole all that dude's tricks.
Oh yeah,
the quick zooms, the like when somebody gets shot. Like Quentin Tarantino's notorious for that, especially in *Inglourious Bastards*. Like somebody like. In the bar scene, when shit goes down, he zooms in on the disgusting, like, crazy action. Like, he zooms in on the dude that turns around and stabs somebody. He zooms in on the bullet hole that when a person gets shot. He got all those techniques from Battle Royale. If you watch Battle Royale, you go, holy shit. And this old-ass movie was pulling off all these crazy tricks with way less... he had way less tools.
There's another movie, what is it? Lady Snowblood? Have you seen that one?
Lady Snowblood?
Something like that.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, and same thing, A lot of things came from that. I forget which one.
Was it a kung fu film of some kind? He loves kung fu films.
Kind of. What happens? I'm trying to remember. It's been some time since I've seen
kung
it.
Fu dance film.
But like this, it's like because it's I think it influenced Kill Bill because I remember the main chick. I don't know. She's pregnant and she's put in jail and I think she loses the baby and then she's going for revenge kind of thing. You know what I mean? Something like that on the lines of that. I can't remember, but I just remember like. Some of the music that's in there is in Kill Bill kind of situation. Like
he uses the same characters from the previous films, and
then he'll take like names,
and then rearrange them. And it's mostly kung fu films, like in the 70s.
Do you have a problem with that? Like, do you think that's straight? Like, this guy's just copying everybody.
No, Quentin Tarantino.
He does it in a.
Everyone's been copying everybody
forever.
Since the existence of history.
Exactly.
Everybody knows The Simpsons done everything.
Oh yeah.
So what are you not gonna live anymore?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Quentin conceptually does what hip hop does in regards to what they call sampling. So he like because there's
a good way to
because Quentin's straight hip hop. So like if you see his filming techniques, the woo and Kill Bill with the red and all that. That's straight out of the Shaw Brothers kung fu films.
Yeah.
But it's not only a reference, but it's also an enhancer of the scene because it still means the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Like if you watch the Shaw Brothers films, when that happens, you knew shit was going to go down.
Yeah.
When he uses it, you know exactly what that means because the meaning is the same in the same context. And he did that shit all the time. Like there's a scene in Kill Bill where they cut the power and it's just silhouettes.
It's all red.
Yeah, and it's or I thought it was all blue.
I believe it's red.
It's just red.
I believe
so it's all silhouettes, and then she's just like swinging around and killing people. That's straight out of a kung fu film. Like they have it shot by shot. Like they put it side to side. It's the same exact thing. A number of shots in Kill Bill specifically are from every one of his favorite kung fu flicks. Like almost every shot, nearly. And then a number of other shots, he transitions between them seamlessly, which makes it make sense. Like you know, like he took the most iconic moments from his favorite films and seamlessly put them all together in a way that made sense. I mean, she took on like 100 dudes by herself. They changed. But here's the thing: nobody was bothered by how he went from black and white out of nowhere, changed the context of what blood looks like and all that. Then went to silhouettes. Then went to like a horror theme. Then went to an outside snowy samurai theme. Yeah. Like he did it seamlessly.
What he does too, there's a song playing and then it just cuts too. What is it? Don't Be Misunderstood. What's the name of that song? But it's like a remake of the song number one, but like they're fighting and all of a sudden it just cuts and then all of a sudden it's just silent and then
but that silence was actually very intense and necessary.
And you're just engulfed in it, dude.
So how about this? How about with the way Quentin Tarantino does movies, will you guys see similar traits, if you guys ever see a similar trait that Quentin Tarantino has used, will you then think he's paying, like, that said director's paying homage to Quentin?
Absolutely.
Or, that I think that's what it is, because
I think
his predecessor, he was doing the same thing.
I think you'd be able to tell, though. I think there'll be people out there that's just straight trying to burn them.
You could see something deliberate, and then you could see something as like a slight homage to.
You'd be able to tell if somebody's like a straight fan that's just like, okay, maybe I could splice this then, or you could see somebody that's just trying to, like, I just wrote a whatever movie and just trying to throw any crap at you, and this worked for him, so I'm going to do it. You know what I mean?
You can see the difference. You can feel the difference.
Exactly.
When Quentin does it, you can tell he watched every frame of the original before he tried to do it himself. Whereas if somebody's just trying to bite him, they just go, "Oh, he did silhouettes. I'll just work with silhouettes."
Yeah.
And he doesn't. They don't look at the scaling. They don't look at framing.
They don't look at anything.
Don't look at the angle in which the lead is standing. Like, in that very Kill Bill scene, they made it look. They pulled her close enough to the camera to make her larger than all the people she was fighting.
That's
to
cool.
get, because you need to see who your main character is.
Yeah.
He paid that much attention to detail. Whereas somebody that would be biting, they would just do silhouettes.
They would
and
just
they would
be
go, okay, that looks tight. Oh, I did
Yeah.
it. But if somebody else would pay homage to Quentin Tarantino, they would focus on how detailed he was and try to match that level.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Now, with what I just said earlier, how about we do this? Since we're pretty much savvy in what kind of makes a good movie, let's take a shitty movie and let's change a few things to make it a little bit better.
Gotcha.
Okay? So I was talking to you guys earlier about the Super Mario Brothers movie. How about we try to make that a better movie?
Man, I don't remember that movie at all. It's
Okay.
gonna be hard for me.
So just come along with us on this journey, that's
Gotcha.
Slick.
I'm listening.
John Leguizamo, Bob Hoskins gets replaced by the original guy, Tom Hanks.
Okay.
I think that's a first good move, right?
All right.
You have a young up and coming guy who's taken a lot of controversial roles, because that very same year, Tom Hanks takes over Philadelphia, the movie.
Yeah, he does.
And he takes
He kills it.
Philadelphia is awesome. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
And that was that same year. He got rejected. They told him, "No, you can't do. Look, dude, your range sucks." And then he does fucking Philadelphia as like a big
Shit.
fuck you. He ends up winning
Hell
an
yeah.
Academy
That's
Award.
dope.
I thought that was cool.
Well, I guess so you're saying that Tom Hanks would be playing Mario. in this
Exactly.
case. I mean, the reason they even it's weird because people would bitch about aesthetics. Mario's supposed to be chubby for some reason. I don't know why.
I mean,
do you think put Tom Hanks in a fat suit?
5'1",
Make him
according
eat.
to a video we just saw earlier.
Yeah, just make him bigger.
We can't get DeVito to do it. Well, DeVito's too real.
He's-
That's being too immersive on the character.
will you play Mario?
So would you guys then keep Dennis Hopper as Bowser? Would you keep the realism within the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Dennis Hopper.
Okay, well, look, if we're gonna go for realism, it has to be what's his name?
And you're gonna follow the Blade Runner concept that they did for.
No, we're getting to that.
Okay.
Let's go little by little here.
I thought Dennis
What's
Hopper
the name
was-
that freaking directed Inception? And
Christopher Nolan. Christopher
Nolan.
Nolan does a Mario flick.
dude, if we're going for realism, it's Christopher Nolan, dude. He made me believe Batman's real, dude.
Because Batman is real.
Yeah,
It's a true story.
Well, now I know this
If
because of Christopher
Nolan
Nolan.
got his hands on it, it'd be so psychological.
It would be
Like
like
it's the meaning of the mushrooms.
it would be two plumbers actually doing work, and then there would be no Mushroom Kingdom or anything. It'd just be like the issues that they faced internally.
Yeah, it'd be like daydreams or like what they experience in their sleep.
my God.
Mario World would be their dreams.
I paid top dollar to see that movie. Top dollar.
This is the thing that isn't necessarily a weakness of Christopher Nolan, and I'm sorry to go on a tangent, but it's just he's good at one good thing. I mean, he's just good at one thing. I mean, The Prestige. Oh my! I can't even start with that.
He's about depth.
It's depth, and you have to be realistic. He only went for realism. I mean, all the stuff that Nikola Tesla was doing in The Prestige, he was able to do.
Yeah.
It's nothing
not false.
short of
Yeah.
what he could have done. But so the directors could have went because the movie sucked. I mean, straight up, it's not even a thing. It's not even a thing of that. So it's either. Would you make this a Spike Lee joint? What would you make this? Come on, like tell me, like what director would you have at the helm? I mean,
for
Mario. That's the thing. It's a
film.
Mario.
Like Tim Burton.
Tim
Tim Burton comes to mind when you paint these type of
Yeah,
environments.
dude.
Actually,
I can see
Tim
that.
Burton's not bad.
Okay,
Tim
so
Burton's
then
not a bad choice.
with that, Johnny Depp has to come with it.
Yeah.
So Johnny Depp is now Luigi.
He'd be
Okay.
Luigi.
Helena Bowman is Mario.
Who the hell's that?
That's his wife or his ex-wife, the chick that's in all his movies
Yeah,
too.
she's always
Helena Bowman Carter.
Oh, okay,
She would be Princess Peach.
Yeah.
So then,
And then you have to take the actors that come with the director.
I know that Danny Elfman, who is always at the side of Tim Burton, can paint. He could do 8-bit.
Oh,
I know he could
do anything.
Definitely.
Is he part REM?
Is he?
Or no?
I don't know if I've ever seen his face.
Yeah. But anyway, so we have that now. And so we know
So
that
world building would be a cinch.
the score would be great. And then you have Johnny Depp, who's coming off of his... he was doing Nightmare on Elm Street. He had that where the bed consumed him.
What year?
Edward
What year is
Scissorhands.
this?
Edward Scissorhands, 1993.
93. Okay.
This is the same year that Jurassic Park came out.
Yeah.
Right on.
Or actually, a couple weeks later, Jurassic Park came out.
Really?
Yeah. And
Johnny would actually be perfect as Luigi. Like, because
Smug kid.
Yeah, smug. Kind of weird, because Luigi's concept, even till today, he's just the weirdo.
Yeah.
And in Japanese culture, the color green is like, when you have a character in green, like in any Power Rangers, anything affiliated with a character that is completely draped in green, they're weird.
Yeah.
That's their color for weird shit. I don't know why.
So then, who, as the male Daisy, I was about to say, as Daisy now. So we have Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder, of course. That's the easy route. Though.
Yeah.
I guess you can go with Winona Ryder.
Because then this would be like a quirky Mario movie now. Because we're talking with Tim Burton and stuff. But that's what the Super Mario movie needed. I didn't need super realism. Mm-hmm. It was what they were initially aiming for was this like gritty movie.
Yeah.
And that's not what Super Mario Brothers is.
No,
it's
like
like
it's I mean,
it's a weird. You're stepping on freaking Goombas. Like
it's a big ass drug trip. But it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
But I think with Tim Burton, he would be willing to take those strange risks that come with the game. So you would actually get them jumping on like Goombas and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We would go that far. Like they would be. Like this would be a full recreation of the Mario world. That's what you would try to go for.
I'd want to see that being taken into effect.
That, yeah. Oh, okay. So
because then you would have Bowser as an actual reptilian, and in that kind of world, he can do that.
Okay.
You know, but in a world where it's too real and like dinosaurs and humans cohabitate,
make Yoshi a raptor.
Yeah. See.
Oh God, it was so weird.
Yeah.
All right. So, are we going with colorful, vibrant atmosphere?
I think that would have
cartoony?
made the movie great because kids.
So we're borderline Space Jamming it.
I think
Exactly.
it would look like his Alice in Wonderland movie.
Because when I watched Super Mario Brothers in the theaters, I was like, okay, I only know that the fact he's Mario, he's Luigi, and that guy said he was Bowser.
Yeah, I think I said he was Bowser. I don't believe him, but he said it.
And it's like the boots, or then there's
They
nothing.
give him super boots.
Yeah, there's nothing being. There's no more allusions to the game after that. It's just.
It's a whole nother world.
It's Blade Runner. They just made Blade Runner. It was weird. All right, so with all that in place, I mean, what would you want the story to be, or what direction would you want to go with it?
Who gives a shit? You go
just take these pieces,
fight Bowser, and you get freaking Daisy
Princess
and or
Peach.
Peach.
Yeah, that would be cool too. Is have actual like Daisy and Peach because then they both have their love
get
interest.
something,
But
and
one
then-
of them has to die. I'm just kidding. Talk about the realism. After I'm like, no, make it quirky, make it fun.
Bowser eats Daisy like right in front of Luigi.
But keep it like
Squeegee.
Squeegee. Keep it like that, like where Bowser has Bowser has Peach, and then a lesser villain has Daisy. Okay. For them to go on. There's gonna be one point where they have to branch off and then face their
fears,
their opponent.
Right.
But I don't know. I think that's what it was missing for because
actually have them go to the damn castle and fucking fight Bowser in his castle.
Yeah.
Avoid obstacles, and they could do cool little scenes.
Because have you guys seen environments like these that were once animated or were once in video game form can look good in a realistic world. I mean, the Beauty and the Beast trailer. Have you seen the Beauty and the Beast trailer, the new one? Dude, that thing looks awesome, man. It looks like a damn good movie, despite the fact that it's like with still these plates and shit are talking. That's the only weird thing.
So, but I mean, we're talking about 93. If you're trying to go for 93, we got to work with what we have.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
have you seen Spawn?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 3 years after too, man.
Yeah,
but with that argument, I mean, because we had Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and that was earlier, and it looks fantastic. A lot of hand drawn stuff, but if they were going to go this route, super pretty, cartoony, they have to do hand drawn.
See, that's the thing. It's not. You're still dealing with actual people as characters. That's the only rub of this whole movie. In the world of Mario, in the world of the Super Mario world, he's a human in a world full of crazy shit. It can be done. I think with the way Tim Burton made you believe that Batman was in this like gritty, seedy society.
Yeah.
He made Gotham look
disgusting.
Very terrorizing. Even Batman Returns, when they went to winter,
that was cool, man. That was really cool, dude.
Tim Burton,
he's great at world building for sure.
and so then we go. So that can all be done, and we put there's a good director at the helm, and then we have to make it quirky for the kids that are watching this, that I would be watching it at this time, and I definitely think it can be done.
Okay, you can throw that in there. I like that. Tim Burton would have did it, and then fucking Johnny Depp as Luigi. I'm good. I don't care about anything else.
Yeah,
that's the world I want to live in.
Yeah.
That's the timeline I want to live in, dude.
Yeah, it's like where you. It's like the first thing we mentioned to Tom Hanks, despite that he did Forrest Gump. Like, oh man, dude, I loved you in the Super Mario Brothers movie. Dude, you as Mario would have been cool. Like, mentioning that to him, because he's like one of those cool guys. Like, there was this video where Tom Hanks interrupted a wedding shoot. He was just jogging, and then he just stopped by. He's like, "Hey guys, like, what's up?
Hey, I'm Tom Hanks."
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, okay, I'm out of here. Like, after he took a bunch of photos and just left. Like, how cool is that? If you're taking this is the part where Tom Hanks interrupts our wedding photos. Oh, Lydia, don't brag, Lydia.
I do. Like he replaces the groom real quick. I do, and then bounces.
I do. Hell yeah.
Well, with movies, what's one of the closing notes you want to mention about movies? Because I enjoy going to movies. I like the fact that I can be detached from the world that I live in for a couple hours. That's what it's about. And I like a movie either to make me laugh. I have a broad stroke when it comes to like enjoying the movies, So it's just any which way they can sway me as long as I'm swayed.
Gotcha.
I for one like films. Like you, I watch everything. Foreign films are like my new thing right now, and really bad films. I love really bad films because they just do things that you could never think of. Like, who would have ever thought that was a good idea? It's a great source of comedy. But I watch films now from the perspective of someone that would create a film. I was told something and it stuck with me, and I can't turn it off now. They were like, every single frame should be a picture. So every image you see should have the same like feel and perspective of somebody taking an image as a photographer. So if you watch a good director, every shot is relevant. There's no shot that's wasted.
It just looks out of place, looks weird.
Right. Yeah. So like if you watch Quentin Tarantino's always the best example, because if you watch everything he does, you could stop the frame and that's a picture now.
Yeah, that makes
you
sense,
can put that on a wall. So with that, like if you have a great score and you have great performances and you have a plot that kind of bends the rules, maybe even throw some reality in there like the Coen brothers, then you get an experience it affects you. I like films that affect you. Comedies, I don't know, man. I'm more into alternative comedy now. Like regular comedies, it's all in the
dry,
norm.
Dude. Something dry just makes me feel
Napoleon
good.
Dynamite.
Yeah, dude, why not?
Yeah.
Because comedy today is like, I know the punchline when they start it, and I'm like, I'm bored now.
But like Coen Brothers, they have a lot of that dry, dude, and it just
subtle.
works. Yeah,
subtle. It's like a detail.
It's like real quick. It's real life kind of comedy. You know what I mean? It's like that's the way you talk to people, and it's like it throws quick little.
So then, let me ask you this, Slickodemus.
Slickodamus.
What brings you? What is the reason you go to the movies?
What do you require from the film?
It's a drug for me. I want that feeling that just takes me into that movie, dude. I just want to feel that. That's it, dude. I don't know.
He's slapping his veins right now.
Yeah, with the popcorn butter from the theater. You're looking for that euphoria. He's looking for that fix. What happens when you can't get that fix anymore?
That's what sucks, dude. Like,
you go to 4K?
That's what some people die, man.
No, this is real shit though. Like, I'll be scrolling through Netflix, through Hulu, through just trying like.
And then you start going to dick flicks. and then you try looking at stuff in 4K, and then 4K can't do it for you. And then you're going to IMAX.
Oh man,
you realize IMAX can't.
I know you're
do
joking
it for
around,
you.
but you're getting real right now. Man. Too real for me.
I'm telling you, G. Like, what's gonna take, man?
What size screen?
What size screen is it gonna do for you now? Is it the size of the screen or the girth of the screen that does it for you?
Dude, I do want a bigger TV. That's fact.
Yeah.
Well, do you feel another question?
Yeah.
And then we can stop. Do you feel like there's people don't enjoy film correctly?
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely. Like I'll try to explain something to somebody about a certain movie, or they'll go and watch it and be like, "That was trash." Like, are you kidding me, dude?
Yeah,
that was a masterpiece, man.
Any and anyone can
Boring. Boring.
Any and everyone could be a veteran of the film, of just watching films, because all you have to do is watch a lot of films. A lot of people rather not see certain genres, and then that's when they detach themselves a little bit from the whole, encompassing themselves from every form of theater, of theater watching. And when they do that, you'll miss out on good movies, you'll miss out on
experimental movies.
Exactly. And you have to start with baby steps to actually make yourself a better, just make yourself a cinema snob at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But you also have to have some form of intellect, like you mentioned with Falling Down. They actually funnel the film from two different directions all the way to one singular point, and then the metaphor is complete.
Yeah.
Me saying that, somebody will say that, what? It's a movie.
Yeah.
He
he died?
Yeah, like that's
okay. He died, but you don't get to understand this.
Yeah, like there's symbolism in an entire experience. There will be blood. There's a full-fledged, like, it is a full circle that takes place in this film, and we basically we end kind of with who we started with, and then we get retribution.
And even illusions mid movies. If you get any of the subtle hints or the illusion mid movies, you're just like, what?
Right.
I didn't think that would happen.
I mean, and some films, are really bad at it, like Superman versus Batman. The whole film is a Jesus motif, or but it was really badly done, Yeah. And then when we try to tell people that, they go, "That's stupid. That doesn't mean anything."
Yeah.
But I feel like film doesn't get experienced correctly, and I feel bad for some of these directors that bust their fucking ass to
make a piece of art.
See it, and you see it through their eyes.
And when a person says it's boring, it's like, what are you talking? A Coen Brothers movie is never boring.
Hell no, dude. Hell no.
I tried to watch
too much hype. Too much hype for me went into Fargo, and that's why I was.
But like No Country for Old Men, it's probably the first 15 minutes. Not a single word is spoken.
There's no music in that movie.
There's no sound.
There's no music in that movie at all.
So that's why I got dicked around when I bought the soundtrack. I spent $50 on the soundtrack.
$50.
And just waiting. All right.
Yeah.
Wow, that was great. I flipped the tape over, and
there is one little piece of sound that comes out. Like there's a part where he's looking for, what's his name, Llewellyn, and he has that little tracker on, right? So he's kind of going toward the hotels, and I think he's getting on a bridge or something, and there's like a bird, and then he just kind of puts his gun out the window, and there's a little piece of music, and that's it. There's no music in that movie, dude.
But
that tripped me the hell out, dude.
That will upset somebody. The fact that no one's speaking for a certain period of time, that will upset someone. But then if you understand film, or if you try a little bit harder to dig into the art, you'll realize they're setting a tone without, like the characters acting these scenes rely so much on the actors that you respect it even more.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it was like, I thought it was brilliant, but another person will say it's boring. I don't know. I didn't like that.
I would say that if you end up seeing a movie and you yourself enjoy it, then I think that the job has been done.
Oh, absolutely.
For that set film,
man. But
it's unfortunate because you could watch a group with 6 people and you're the only one that gets the experience.
And you want to be excited with everybody, and they're like, Nah.
I didn't really like this. Let's put on Transformers, man.
Oh,
You see
jeez.
something
That's
blow
what
up,
hurts.
dude.
Well, on that note, I want to go ahead and put this podcast to a close. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for listening to the Mark and Andre show. I'm going to leave the floor to Slickademus and Andre for their shameless promotions.
Who's going first?
You go ahead, man.
Whatever. You can you can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/MrGreenThing666 for all your crappy video needs, or we also stream live every day at Mr. Streamthing GTP on YouTube, and you can find me on Instagram at Listerfiend. That's LISTER_PHEEND. And that's it.
And if you guys don't know by now, I am a hip hop instructor. If you guys don't even, if you don't want to be instructed in hip hop, I have a channel on YouTube I have a show on YouTube that analyzes popular hip hop songs down to the very syllable, down to the concept, why it was created, how they come up with these flows, and all the things that they say. I tend to pick more intellectual types of songs just to prove to you guys that this is the evolution of poetry. So if you guys are interested, you can check me out at youtube.com/Andre Gainer. That's youtube.com/ANDREGAINER. Check out the channel. We just hit 22K subs. And yeah, man, like we're growing. And if you guys check out the show and you're from here, let us know. Leave a comment, say hey, and I'll show you tons of love. So thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate it. It's been splendid. It's always a great time to have a guest. Thank you for coming. I'm shaking his hand.
Absolutely.
If you can't hear it.
He's touching my butt right now.
Yeah, squeezing tight. Let him know. It's a compassionate squeeze.
I want to thank you guys for tuning into the Mark and Andre podcast show, the only film, entertainment, and conspiracy podcast on Spreaker.com.
To our knowledge.
Thank you guys, and have a good night.